A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef. No other beef so fresh can be so tender presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. K is for Kroger. C is for cut. B is for beef. KCB means Kroger cut beef. And Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. Yes, friends, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. And here's why. Before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Remember, that's before the meat is weighed and priced. And it's the very top U.S. government grades of beef that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. So you see, you get a better value in top-grade beef. Now, to give you an example, let's take a Kroger cut rib roast. Before the roast is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes the short rib end, the waist, and trims the chine bone. You don't pay roast price for the short rib end and waist. And no matter whether you buy a Kroger cut steak or roast, you receive more meat, less waste. So don't forget, that's at your Kroger store. See for yourself by visiting your neighborhood Kroger store soon. Get Kroger cut beef and get more meat for your money. And now, Hearts in Harmony. Like all girls who are about to be married, Penny Gibbs is an excited and busy girl. But she's neither too excited nor too busy to devote a little time to her friend Peg Martin's little daughter, Julie. It's late afternoon in the Gibbs home, and in the living room, little Julie says,
"Could you read me another fairy story, Aunt Penny? Could you?"
Oh, darling, I have to leave pretty soon. In fact, I ought to be on my way right now. Oh, all right. I'll start one, and your mother can finish it when she comes down.
Mommy and I are going out with Uncle George to eat in a regular restaurant.
Yes, so I heard. Okay, what story you want me to read this time?
Read me the one about the donkey who scared the robber.
The donkey, huh? Okay, now that should be in here somewhere. Don't think I can find it, though. What's it called? The Musicians of Bremen, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I can find it, Aunt Penny. Oh, there it was.
Oh, that's it. Okay, let's go back a page or two.
There it is. Here's a picture of the donkey singing a song. Who ever heard of a donkey that could sing songs? Silly, isn't it?
If you think it's so silly, why do you want me to read it to you?
Well, I like stories about animals, even if they are silly. Read it, Aunt Penny, will you?
All right, darling. Once upon a time, there was a certain man who had a donkey who had carried corn sacks to the mill for so many years that he was tired and worn and no longer fit for work. When the master began to consider how he might save the cost of keeping a worthless donkey, the donkey saw that no good wind was blowing for him. So he ran away, and he set out on the road to Bremen.
How did the donkey know his master was thinking that, Aunt Penny?
I don't know for sure, Julie, but I imagine this was a very smart donkey who could understand what people were saying.
I guess so. Read some more, Aunt Penny.
All right. So he ran away, and he set out on the road to Bremen. For there, he said to himself, I can surely be the town musician. Now, when he walked some distance down the road, he found a hound.
What's a hound, Aunt Penny?
A dog, Julie.
Oh.
The hound was lying in the road and gasping like one who'd run until he was tired out. What are you gasping for, big dog? Asked the donkey.
I wish I could hear a donkey talking to a dog. It must sound funny.
Yes, it must. But I can't read this story if you keep interrupting me.
I'm sorry. I won't talk anymore.
All right, now let's try one. What are you gasping for, big dog? Asked the donkey. Oh, answered the dog, because I am old and growing weaker every day and can no longer hunt, my master wanted to kill me, so I fled. But now, how am I to earn my bread?
Dogs don't eat bread, do they, Aunt Penny?
No, it's not supposed to be good for them, Julie. Anyway, to earn my bread is kind of an expression meaning to make a living.
Oh.
And you promised me you wouldn't interrupt.
I forgot. I won't again.
All right, now let's see. Oh, yes. When the donkey heard this, he said, I tell you what, I am going to Bremen to be the town musician there. Go with me and become a musician, too. I will play the lute, and you shall play...
What's it? Oh, I forgot. I'm not supposed to talk.
Oh, darling, you want to know what a lute is, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Well, let me see now. A lute is a...
Are you bothering your Aunt Penny?
No, Mommy.
Peg, you broke in at the right time. Julie asked me to describe a lute for her.
Susie, I think I told you not to ask so many questions.
But, Mommy, when I don't know something and want to find out something, I have to ask questions.
She's right, Peg.
But Penny, she'll drive you out of your mind with questions if you let her. Aren't you supposed to meet Barry at his office right now?
No, he phoned and said he wouldn't be through till a little bit later. Oh, I guess I better be on my way if I don't want to keep him waiting, though.
Oh, no more story, Aunt Penny.
Julie, I'm sorry, darling, but I told you I could only start the story for you. Maybe your mommy will finish it for you.
Will you, Mommy?
Of course, darling.
I got as far as where the donkey and the dog both start off for Bremen.
Oh, good heavens, what kind of a story is that?
The wonderful musicians of Bremen. Oh, here's where I left off this paragraph right here.
What happens next, Mommy?
I'll read it to you in a minute, Julie. Say goodbye and thanks to your Aunt Penny.
Goodbye, Aunt Penny. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Julie. I won't be home till late, Peg.
All right, Penny. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, I think I will. Bye.
Bye, dear.
Bye, Aunt Penny.
Bye, Julie. And remember, don't you ask too many questions when somebody's reading to you.
I'll try not to. Bye.
Bye.
Now will you read, Mommy?
Oh, I suppose so. Let's see. Your Aunt Penny was here, was she? I will play the lute and you will play the kettle drum. The dog agreed, and so they went on.
Mommy, what's a lute?
Will you not ask questions?
Oh, Mommy, I
And
don't
be
know.
quiet. After a while, the donkey and the hound came to a cat who was sitting on the road with a face as glum as 3 rainy days. Now, what's the matter with you? Asked the...
The donkey?
Make up your own stories, Julie. I can't be bothered reading to you.
But, Mommy, you said you finished the story.
I said no such thing. Your Aunt Penny said that. No, I can't be bothered reading to you.
But somebody has to, Mommy. I can't read many words.
Well, that's too bad. You'll just have to wait until you're older and can read. There's the doorbell. It's probably your Uncle George. Go open the door for him.
Yes, Mommy.
And when your Uncle George is here, I don't want to hear a sound out of you.
I'll be quiet, Mommy.
Well, look who's opening the door for good old Uncle George.
Hello, Uncle George. Mommy said it was you.
Oh, your mother can tell when I'm around, can't she? Where is that beautiful mother?
In here, George.
What? You mean you're dressed and ready to go? I don't have to wait until nearly midnight to take you to dinner at 6.
Well, I couldn't afford to keep you waiting this time. We have some important matters to talk over.
Well, let's talk them over then.
Not here.
Oh, now, come on. Peg, Julie's on our side, aren't you, Julie? Aren't you, Julie?
Well, what's the matter, Julie? Can't you speak when you're spoken to?
Yes, Mommy. But you said for me not to make a sound while Uncle George was here. And talking makes a sound.
Well, be sure you remember that. Well, George, shall we go?
Might as well. Where shall we go?
Oh, some nice quiet spot out on the highway, perhaps.
Well, now, that doesn't sound like much of a place to take Julie.
We aren't taking Julie.
We aren't. Why not?
Because I don't want to take her. Julie, will you stop staring at me?
I'm sorry, Mommy.
Go play with your dolls.
Yes, Mommy.
Well, let's go, George.
Oh, not without Julie. Peg, you want to come with us, don't you, Julie?
Oh, yes, Uncle George. I'd like to.
Will you shut up, George?
Oh, you want Julie with us, Peg? A nice table for 3, maybe with his music and... you like music, don't you, Julie?
Oh, yes, Uncle George. If it's pretty music.
Sometimes I don't know why I don't slap your face, George. You know you don't want the child with us any more than I do.
Oh, but I do want her along, Peg.
You like anything that torments me, don't you? Well, she's not coming with us. Julie, you're staying here, and that's that.
But, Mommy, Uncle George wants
You're not
me
to pay any attention to what your Uncle George wants. You'll do as I say.
Yes, Mommy.
Oh, come on, Peg. Be a sport. The kid won't be in the way.
She's always in the way. Julie, will you go out in the kitchen?
You'll be a good girl if we take you with us, won't you, Julie?
Well, I'll be awful good, Uncle George. I can go with you, can't I?
Sure you can. You just get your coat
Julie,
on.
you're staying right here. Do you understand?
No, Mommy, I
Hey,
don't.
where are you going?
I'm going out, and you're coming with me. Come on.
All right. I still think it'd be fun to take Julie. It'd be fun for her, I mean.
Bye, Mommy.
What's fun for her isn't fun for me. Don't you think I want that child out of my sight once in a while?
Sure.
Bye, Uncle George.
Hurt.
Bye, Mommy. Bye, Uncle... Have a good time. Have a good...
Julie, where are you? Julie, you're crying.
Hello, Aunt Penny.
Oh, darling, why are you crying? Where's your mommy?
Mommy's out with Uncle George with his pretty music and
Oh, weren't they supposed to take you?
Mommy didn't want me.
Oh, that's not true, Julie.
It is true. Mommy said so. She told Uncle George she didn't want me.
But I don't understand why not.
I don't know why not. I didn't do anything bad. Uncle George said I could go, but Mommy said no.
Come here, Julie. Come on, let me dry those eyes. Oh, my. You've been crying an awfully long time. I'm glad I came home for something. You'd be crying all night. Come on. You going to stop for Aunt Penny?
Yes, Aunt Penny. I'll try.
Yeah, that's better. Come on now. Let me see you smile. Come on.
I wanted to hear the pretty music. Uncle George said there'd be pretty music. But Mommy said no.
There must have been a reason for it, darling.
Mommy hates me.
Oh, Julie, that's not true.
But she does. I didn't do anything bad not to go with Uncle George. Mommy just said I couldn't. And I was so good, honest I was.
Oh, I'm sure you were, honey. I'll tell you what. If you run upstairs and wash your face, promise not to cry anymore, or to think your Mommy hates you, I'll take you with me, and we'll both go with Uncle Barry to a place where there's lots of pretty music.
Oh, could I? Can I really, Aunt Penny? Can I really go with you?
You really could. But you've got to be a good girl and not cry.
I promise. I'll be awful good, Aunt Penny. I won't talk and I won't ask questions and I won't spill anything, and I'll just listen and listen.
Oh, that's the way to learn a lot of good things and have a good time. Now, go on. Get upstairs and wash your face and hands because we have to hurry.
Well, I'll hurry, Aunt Penny. I'll hurry fast.
Not too fast, Julie.
Well, I'm going to hear pretty music.
Julie.
Yes, Aunt Penny?
Did your mother really refuse to take you with her tonight? Or were you a naughty girl?
I was good, Aunt Penny. Mommy just said no. Kept on saying no. No matter what Uncle George said.
I see. All right, darling, run upstairs and wash.
Yes, Aunt Penny.
It's strange. It really is very strange. Beginning to think maybe my friend Peg isn't the kind of person I thought she was.
Is Penny at last on her way to discovering the person Peg Martin really is? Or will Peg have some satisfactory explanation for her cruel actions toward her little daughter? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. KCB. KCB. KCB means Kroger cut beef. And Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. Yes, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. That's because before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. You get more meat, less waste in Kroger cut beef. It's top U.S. government grades of beef. Tender, juicy, rich red, marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. So visit your neighborhood Kroger store and buy your favorite cut of beef. If you can get a Kroger cut sirloin steak, you'll notice that before the steak is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes the stringy end, the waste, and the excess bone. Remember, whether you buy a steak or roast, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat for your money. But remember, ladies, you can buy a Kroger cut steak or roast only at Kroger stores. Make up your mind right now to visit your neighborhood Kroger store without delay. Your Kroger meat man has just the cut of beef you want. It's delicious and juicy. It's top-grade beef that will thrill your family. And don't forget, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste, which means you get more meat for your money at your Kroger store. Listen in again tomorrow. Same time, same station, for another exciting transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future,
Adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Can you predict the future? Can you tell what will come in 100 years? Or in 10? Or in the next minute? Tonight we present two ventures into the unknown. Two fantasies of the future, chosen from the works of one of our most brilliant young science fiction writers, Ray Bradbury. First, his story entitled, There Will Come Soft Rains. The house was a good house, planned and built to be lived in the year 1980. The real estate agent had told them all about it.
Now, this is the bedroom. Of course, it contains all the latest devices, self-warming blankets, and, there's a brand new feature. Beds, which make themselves. Now, if you just step this way through the library, we can see the latest in talking book recorders, self-building fireplace, self-cleaning robot dust disposal. Oh, these little mouse-like things come out of the wall and take away all the dirt. Now, over this way. As a complete robot kitchen, of course. Just set the menu for the week and the stove does the rest. Then there's the automatic hydroponic garden, self-sprinkling fire protection. See, the house is fully automatic. Why, you could go away for a year and it would run itself.
And so the family took the house. The man and the woman and the two children. A boy and a girl. And they lived contentedly, enjoying music and poetry and the rich, warm things in life. And the house fed them and slept them and entertained them. It made a good life for them. Until one day, there were 10,000 explosions, and the world shook, and red fire and ashes and radioactivity fell from the sky. The happy time was over.
Tick-tock, 7 o'clock, time to rise, open your eyes. Tick-tock, 7 o'clock, time to rise, open your eyes.
But the house lay empty. The clock talked to the empty morning. In the kitchen, the stove sighed and ejected from its warm interior 8 eggs, sunny side up, 12 bacon slices, 2 coffees, and 2 cups of hot cocoa.
7-9, breakfast time, come and dine. 7-9.
Today is April 28th, 1985. Today, remember, is Mr. Featherstone's birthday. Insurance, gas, atom heat, and electricity bills are due.
In the walls, relays clicked, memory tapes glided under electric eyes, recorded voices moved beneath steel meters.
8-1, run, run, off to school, off to work, run, run, tick-tock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
But no doors slammed. No carpets took the quick tread of rubber heels. At 8:30, the eggs began to shrivel. An aluminum wedge scraped them into the sink.
9:15, time to clean. 9:15, time to clean.
Out of the wall, hundreds of tiny mechanical mice darted. The rooms were acrawl with small, cleaning animals, all rubber and metal. They sucked up the hidden dust and dirt and popped back into their burrows. At 10 o'clock, the sun came out from behind the rain. The house stood alone on a street where all the other houses were rubble and ashes. At night, the ruined town gave off a radioactive glow which could be seen for miles. At 10:15, the garden sprinkler filled the soft morning air with golden fountains. The water tinkled over the charred west side of the house, the side which had been facing the blast. It was blank, except in 5 places. One of the 5 places was a silhouette of a man mowing a lawn, just as he'd been the instant the radioactivity burned his image into the side of the house. Over there, a woman bent to pick flowers. Still further over, their images burned into the wood, where a small boy, hands flung into the air. Higher up, the image of a thrown ball, and opposite, a girl, her hands raised to catch a ball which never came down. 5 people. 5 spots of paint. On the front porch, the dog whined and shivered. The front door recognized the dog's voice and opened. The dog padded in wearily, thin to the bone, covered with sores. It ran to the kitchen and pawed the kitchen door wildly. Behind the door, the stove was making pancakes which filled the house with their odor, as prescribed by the automatic preset menu selector. The dog frogged, ran insanely, spun in a circle, biting its tail, and died.
1 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Delicately sensing decay, the regiments of mice hummed out of the walls, soft as blown leaves, their electric eyes glowing.
1:15.
The dog was gone.
2:15.
Bridge tables unfolded from the walls of the patio. Playing cards fluttered onto pads. Martinis appeared on an oaken bench. But the tables were silent, the cards untouched.
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Dinner was made, ignored, flushed away. Dishes were washed. In the study, the tobacco stand produced a cigar with half an inch of gray ash upon it, smoking, waiting, waiting. The hearth fire bloomed out of nothing.
9 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
The beds began to warm their hidden circuits, and the phonograph spoke from beside the fireplace.
Mrs. McClelland, what poem would you like to hear this evening? Mr. McClelland? Since you express no preference, I shall select at random from among your favorites. Sarah Teasdale, There Will Come Soft Rains.
There will come soft rains, and the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on a low fence wire, and not one will know of war. Not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone.
The phonograph finished the poem. The empty chairs faced each other between the silent walls. At 10 o'clock that evening, the house began to die. The wind blew the bough of a falling tree into the kitchen window, smashing it. A bottle of cleaning fluid crashed on the stove. Water pumps shot down from the ceiling. But the solvent spread onto the doors, making fire as it went. Other voices in other rooms taking up the alarm. The windows broke with the heat, and the wind blew in to help the fire. The fire crackled upstairs at paintings, lay hungrily on the beds, devoured the rooms. The house began to shudder. The bared skeleton began to cringe in the heat. The wires revealed as if a surgeon had torn the skin off. Voices screamed in every room. Windows snapped open and shut like undecided mouths. A thousand things were happening at once. Like the interior of a clock shop at midnight, all the clocks were striking, making a merry-go-round of squeaking, whispering, and rushing. In the kitchen, the stove hissing hysterically was making breakfast at a psychopathic rate. 10 dozen pancakes, 6 dozen loaves of toast. Then, there was silence. The film spools were burned out. The wires withered and the circuits cracked. Then the house began to breathe its last. The beams began to give at the foundations. Long cracks appeared in the concrete. The seams were burst from the heat. And finally, with a huge rumble, it crashed into dust and rumble. Dawn shone faintly in the east. In the ruins of the house, only one wall remained standing. And within the wall, even as the sun rose to shine upon the burning rubble, a voice spoke again and again and again.
No one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. That we were gone. That we were gone. That we were gone.
Today is April 29th, 1985. Today is April 29th, 1985.
Strange are the uses of Providence. Is this how the end will come for mankind, with 10,000 explosions and a flash of radioactive gas? Or will destruction come more subtly, extended to us gently and innocently in, let's say, the hand of a child? Who knows in what manner 0 hour may arrest the world we know? It was a perfect summer day in the year 1985. The streets were lined with green, peaceful trees. Businessmen sat in their quiet offices, taping their voices or watching televisors. Rockets hovered like darning needles in the blue sky. There was the universal quiet conceit and easiness of men accustomed to peace, quite certain that there would never be war or trouble again. There were no traitors among men, no unhappy ones, no disgruntled ones. The world was upon stable ground. Sunlight illumined the suburbs, and the town drowsed on a tide of warm, sunlit air. On the lawns, the children played, catapulting this way and that across the green grass, shouting at each other, holding hands, flying in circles, climbing trees and laughing. And in the homes, busy mothers prepared for the evening arrival of their husbands.
Heavens, Mick, what's all the excitement?
We're playing a game, Mommy. The most exciting game ever.
What are you doing in that cabinet?
I need some tools from Daddy's kit.
Your father may not like...
Oh, I'll take good care of them, Mom. I promise.
Very well. Don't you lose anything.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
You want a glass of milk?
Can't stop now, Mom.
What's the name of the game, Mink?
Invasion.
Invasion. What will they think of next?
Now put that there and bring that over here. Oh, no, you ninny. Now get back while I fix this. There, they want it this way, see? Here, just let me fix it. Oh, Mink, it's that smarty pants Joseph Connors. Don't let him play. He's 12 years old. Don't worry, I won't.
What you playing, Mink?
None of your business, smarty pants.
I want to play.
Can't.
Why not?
You're too old.
Just 'cause you're only 8.
No, you'd only laugh at us and spoil the invasion. Make him go away, Mink. Go away. This is my backyard.
Who wants to play with you and your old fairies anyway?
They aren't fairies.
Nuts to you. I don't want to play anyway.
Good riddance. I'm glad you didn't let him play, Mink. He'd only laugh. Now, we better talk to Drill and get some more instructions, Art. Now, here's your pad and pencil.
Where is Drill?
Drill? Here, Drill. Drill?
He's
in the rose bush, I think. I'll talk to him myself, and you write it down in the pad.
Okay.
Drill? Drill? Okay. Jill wants you to write down triangle.
What's a triangle?
Never mind. Drill will tell us when he wants us to know. It helps the invasion.
How do you spell it?
Well, that's Drill. Drill, how do you make that?
Here's your mother, looking out the window.
Mink?
Yes, Mother?
Who are you talking to?
The rose bush, Mom. Only it's not really a rose bush. That's Drill.
Who's Drill?
He's planning the invasion.
Oh, I see. Well, you better come in and clean up for supper. Your daddy will be home soon.
In just a second, Mom. You got that, Art?
See now what? 4, 9, 7, and A, and B, and X, and a fork, and some string, and a hexagonal droopy.
Come on, Mink. Supper's in 10 minutes.
Okay, Mom. Just a minute. I have to tell Drill.
I wish we didn't have to eat, though. It holds up the invasion.
Mink, for heaven's sake, slow down. You'll choke on that soup.
I can't, Mom. It's a matter of life and death.
What's a matter of life and death?
The invasion.
What invasion is that?
Oh, just some silly game the children have been playing.
Well, whatever it is, Mink, it'll wait until you've finished your supper, I'm sure.
I don't want any more.
You barely touched anything.
Oh, but Drill is waiting for me, Daddy.
Drill? Who's Drill?
He lives in a rose bush in our backyard. Imagination, Henry.
Such nonsense.
I've got to run now.
You'll sit through dessert, young lady.
Oh, gee, Daddy.
And while you're at it, tell me more about this new game.
It's Martians invading Earth, Daddy.
What?
Well, not exactly Martians, Daddy. They're from... Well, gee, I don't know. From up.
And from inside that little head of yours.
You're laughing at me. Drill said you would. You'll kill Drill and everybody.
Oh, I didn't know you could kill a Martian.
But it's not really a Martian, Mom. Maybe it's from Jupiter or Venus, even.
Imagine.
They couldn't figure out a way to attack the Earth. We are impregnable.
Impregnable, dear.
Well, that's the word Drill said. Well, anyway, that was the word, Mom, the same word. Anyway, so we're helping them.
Now, who's helping who?
Well, the kids are helping the Martians.
Oh, fifth column, eh?
Well, Drill says in order to make a good fight, you got to have a new way of surprising the people. That way you win. And he says also you got to have help from your enemy.
Pretty slick, those Martians, using the kids for a fifth column, eh, Mary?
And hiding under rose bushes, too, Henry. Don't forget that.
Well, that's because grown-ups never look under rose bushes. Only kids.
Oh, I see. Well, finish your fruit, darling. You can play for an hour afterward.
Mary.
Oh, it's so nice out, Henry. There's no school tomorrow.
Very well. Till 8 o'clock.
Drill says after the invasion, we can stay up as late as we want. No more bets, either.
Oh, is that so?
We can watch all the grown-up televisor shows.
I don't wonder this invasion has caught on among the kids.
Well, some of the kids are giving us trouble, like Dale Britz and Petey Jarrett. They're growing up, so they won't believe in the invasion. They make fun. Worse than parents, even. I hate them worst. We'll kill them first.
I hope you're saving your father and me for last.
But Drill says you're dangerous.
What?
But I think they'll let me keep you because I'm helping so much. I'll talk to Drill. Maybe we won't have to kill you.
Mary, I think this nonsense has gone far enough.
Can I go out now, please?
Yeah, run along, dear.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't let them hurt you.
Mary, I think the child's taking this game entirely too seriously. Invasion.
Ah, Henry, you know how Mink is. Besides, all children have their aggressions. Better to get them out in the open, I suppose.
Maybe you're right. I was wondering about bridge with the Jacksons tonight, Mary.
All right. But, you look tired, dear. Why don't you sit in the relaxer for a while and get a massage? I'll sew for a while until it's time to... Oh, I wanted to call my sister Helen.
Oh, good. Find out when her husband's going to return my golf clubs.
Televisor.
Would you please connect me with Mrs. Helen Rogerson on Channel 7-2Z, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
What is your channel, please?
817X, New Rochelle, New York.
Thank you. Just a moment. Go ahead. You can see your party now.
Hello, Mary. How are things in New York?
Fine, Helen. How are things in Pittsburgh? You look tired.
Oh, I've been having a terrible time with the children.
Sick?
No, just underfoot. They've got a new game that's got me just about crazy. It's called Invasion.
Did you say invasion?
That's right.
Well, isn't that strange? My Mink is playing it, too.
My boy Tim is all involved with some imaginary fellow named Drill who's running the invasion.
Must be a new password. Mink likes him, too.
How do you suppose these games start? My backyard looks like a scrap drive. They've got every conceivable kind of mechanical gadget arranged out there. I talked to Josephine Schiller in Boston, and she says her kids are wild about it, too. It's sweeping the country.
Remember when it was the Roomba?
Please, dear, I'm not that old.
Mommy!
Oh, please, Minky, I'm on the televisor. Come on, see your Aunt Helen.
Hello, Ming.
Hi, Aunt Helen. Look what I've got.
What is it, honey?
Look, it's the yo-yo. Look what I enrolled in. See?
Well, Helen, look, it vanished. Where did it go?
Into another dim...
She means dimension. Aren't they the darndest thing? My Timmy brought one home, too. I can't figure out how they work. Make it reappear, honey.
There. See, it's easy.
Where'd you get it, dear?
Jill gave it to me, Mom.
Mink?
Bye, Aunt Helen. Gotta run now.
Mink, you come back here. I want to talk to you.
Hey, Mom. 0 hour, 5 o'clock.
Mink!
Bye!
Oh, I can't understand it. The child's never been so unruly. Helen, do you suppose that...
What?
Nothing. Just a wild thought that... Say, the reason I called, I want to get that black and white cake recipe, and Henry wants his golf clubs. I don't know what he'll do, but...
What was that?
I don't know. One of the children must have been hurt. I'll have to run and see. Call me back tonight, will you?
All right, Mary. Bye.
Mink, come here.
Yes, Mom.
What is it? Who screamed?
Peggy Ann.
All right, what happened?
Well, she got scared and went home.
Did you hit her?
No, she just got scared. She's a scare baby anyway. We won't let her play anymore. She's getting too old.
Now, Mink, tell me why she cried.
No, I can't.
Mink, you'll answer me this instant or come inside. I've had enough of this nonsense.
Gee, I can't quit now, Mom. It's almost 0 hour.
Then tell me what frightened Peggy Ann.
Okay, she saw Drill.
Drill?
He almost came through. He was just testing.
Through what?
Well, those pipes and things he set up. She looked into one of the pipes and screamed. I guess she saw Drill.
And no one hit her?
Uh-uh.
Very well, Mink. I'll call Peggy Ann's mother and see how she is. And I'll call you for your bath in half an hour. Your father and I want to go out tonight.
You won't be able to go out, Mom.
Why not?
0 hour is 5 o'clock, Mom.
Hello, dear.
Oh, you home already, Henry?
Yes, I thought I'd relax a little before we went to theater. Where's the little one?
Out back.
Same game?
Same game. They've got a stack of pipes and hammers and spoons a mile high out there.
Children, why do we have them?
Yeah, strange little creatures, aren't they? Even Mink, Henry. She's a part of us, and yet what do we really know about how she thinks and feels?
Oh, I didn't mean to start a philosophic discussion.
Kids are such a queer mixture of love and hate, though. Even normal, healthy kids. They need you and they're dependent on you, and yet they resent that dependence.
You sound like a child psychology course I once took.
I wonder if they ever really forgive the whippings and the commands we have to give them sometimes. I wonder if we ever forgot them when we were children.
Look, I'd like to discuss this with you, dear, but we do have a theater date, and it's almost 5 o'clock now. What's happened to the kids? They're so quiet. When children are quiet, you know there's some mischief. What's that sound?
I don't know.
These kids aren't playing with anything electrical, are they?
I'm sure they are. At least
Just the same. I'd better go out.
Henry, tell them to put off the invasion.
What? Mary, don't get upset. It's just a game. Good Lord, what's that? Look out the window, Mary. What is it? Where are the children? Mary, why are you shaking? What did you see?
Henry, quick. Up to the attic.
They aren't in the attic.
Yes, the attic. Quick.
Mary, come back here. Mary! Mary, don't go up. They aren't up there. Mary, you out of your mind? There's no one up here.
Quick, shut the door. Lock
there's nothing up here. What is wrong with you? Mary, come to your senses.
Henry, we've got to stay here and hide.
What are you talking about?
I saw it through the window, Henry. It was horrible.
What?
It is an invasion.
For heaven's sake, let's get down out of this attic and talk this over sensibly. I want to find out if Mink is all right.
She's all right. I saw her. She was leading them around the corner of the house.
Leading who? The kids?
Shh.
It's nothing.
Listen. The front door. They're coming!
Good Lord, those kids sound like 50 men with boots on.
No, not men. Oh, please, God, don't let them find us. Don't let them please.
I don't understand. Who's there? Who's down there? I demand that you answer me.
They're coming. The whole house is shaking.
Who's there?
Be quiet. They might go away. Henry?
Mom? Dad? Are you in the attic?
Henry, listen.
It's Mink. Mink. We've got to save her.
Henry, you don't understand. She's leading them.
What?
She's leading them. She's on their side. Oh, my God, forgive them.
Children on their side?
She told us, but we wouldn't believe her. Henry, they're coming out!
Mom? Dad, we know you're in there. Well, I guess you better melt the lock, Trill.
Henry, the lock! It's melting! The door! Oh, dear God!
Mom? Dad? Oh, I see you now. Peekaboo!
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production. Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X-1.
Tonight, Hostess by Isaac Asimov.
I was so happy about it when I came home, almost triumphant. I dashed in the front door, peeled off my gloves, threw my hat on the side table, and tossed my coat over the back of a chair.
Well, you missed supper.
Drake, we're going to have him here.
Who here? What are you talking
The
about?
doctor from Hawkins Planet. Didn't you realize that was what today's conference was about?
When you say the doctor from Hawkins Planet, do you mean the Hawkins site you've got at the Institute?
Well, of course. Who else could I possibly mean?
May I ask what the devil you mean by saying we'll have him here?
Darling, the Hawkins site would like to stay at a private house somewhere where he won't be bothered with official ceremony, where he'll be able to proceed more according to his own likes and dislikes. I find it quite understandable.
Whenever you start using formal sentences, I know you're hiding extreme irritation.
Well, you don't seem to be trying to hide it at all. Well, what's the matter?
Look, I don't see where we've got room for extraterrestrial visitors.
Are you serious? He can stay in the spare room. Honestly, Drake, all we have to do is show a certain amount of adaptability.
Sure, just a little adaptability. The Hawkins site breathes cyanide. We'll just adapt ourselves to that, I suppose.
He carries cyanide in a little cylinder. You won't even notice it.
Mm-hmm. And what else is there about them I won't notice?
Nothing else. They're perfectly harmless. They're even vegetarians.
Well, what about us? Do we eat meat ourselves, or will that make us look like cannibals to him? I won't live on salads to suit him, I warn you.
Drake, it means very much to me.
Well, why?
Because if he stays here for any length of time, I can study him real closely. Very little work has been done on the biology and psychology of the individual Hawkins site or of any of the extraterrestrial intelligences. Surely you must see the opportunity. He stays here. We speak to him, watch him, observe his habits.
Look, I've spoken to men who are in charge of security groups watching various Hawkins site missions on Earth. The missions stay in the rooms assigned to them, and they don't leave for anything but the most important official business. They have nothing to do with Earthmen. It's quite obvious that they're as revolted by us as I personally am by them.
Drake, he's a doctor. He's coming here for medical research, and I'll grant you that he probably doesn't enjoy staying with human beings and will probably find us perfectly horrible. But he must stay just the same.
All right. Have it your own way. You sure you don't want any coffee?
No. Drake, you're not angry about this, are you?
No, I'm not angry.
Most of my friends had been surprised when I married Drake because they couldn't understand my marrying a policeman. I explained he wasn't simply a policeman. He was a member of the World Security Board, but most of the staff at the Institute thought it rather odd that I hadn't married a biologist or at least an anthropologist, even a chemist, but certainly not a policeman. I was waiting for Drake with some apprehension that evening as I sat in the living room. Hark Tolan, the Hawkins site, was standing quietly in the middle of the room. He was not sitting since he was not anatomically constructed to sit. He stood on two sets of limbs placed close together, while a third pair, entirely different in their construction, were suspended from a region that would have been the upper chest in the human being. His skin was hard, glistening, and ridged, and his face wore a distant resemblance to something alienly bovine.
Mrs. Smollett, you must forgive my English. The construction of my mouth, combined with the absence of incisors and canine teeth, is an obstacle to clear speech.
I think you speak very well.
Thank you.
My husband will be home soon, and then we'll eat.
Your husband?
Well,
Husband?
Yes, you know. Mr. Smollett.
A male, of course. You must forgive me, Mrs. Smollett. Perhaps the greatest source of confusion among the 5 known races of the galaxy lies in the differences among them in regard to their sex life and the social institutions that grow around it.
I understand that.
The concept of husband and wife, for instance, exists only on Earth. I can achieve a sort of intellectual understanding of what that means, never an emotional one.
Dr. Tolan, I've consulted the Institute in preparing a menu, and I trust you'll find nothing in it that will upset you. Drake? Drake, is that you?
Yeah.
I'm in the living room, dear.
I suppose he's all delivered, complete.
Drake, this is Dr. Hark Tolan of Hawkins Planet. Dr. Tolan, my husband.
Good evening, Dr. Tolan.
Mr. Smollett?
Would you care for a drink?
I'm not particularly thirsty.
On Earth, there's a custom of drinking liquids which have been fortified with ethyl alcohol. We find it stimulating.
Oh, yes. I'm afraid, then, that I must decline. Ethyl alcohol would interfere most unpleasantly with my metabolism.
Well, so it does to Earthmen, too. But I understand, Dr. Tolan. Would you object to my drinking?
Of course not.
Good. I need one. A stiff one.
He stood at the table. I tried not to look at him as he ate. His wide, lipless mouth split his face alarmingly as he ingested food, and in chewing, his large jaws moved from side to side. There was evidence of his ungulate ancestry. I found myself wondering whether he would chew his cud later, and then I was afraid that Drake would get the same idea and leave the table in disgust, but he was taking everything quite calmly.
I imagine, Dr. Tolan, that the cylinder at your side holds cyanide.
Quite so.
Pure cyanide?
I hope you are not considering possible danger. I know the gas is highly poisonous to you, and I do not need a great deal. None of it emerges, except when I actually suck at the tube, which is fixed at the corner of my mouth.
I see. And you really must have the gas to live?
Are you not a biologist, Mr. Smollett?
No, Dr. Tolan. Merely a minor government official. My wife's friends call me a policeman. Tell me, what happens if you don't breathe cyanide? Do you, just go like that?
Not quite. The absence of it would be equivalent to slow strangulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very painful, difficult to treat. I've done some research on the problem.
I find it difficult to keep thinking of you as a doctor.
I understand what you mean. I find it difficult to think of you as a policeman.
I gather that you're not here on a pleasure trip.
No. I intend to study this queer planet you call Earth.
Queer? In what way?
It is always amazing to me to find how little you Earthmen understand your own characteristics. There are 5 intelligent races in the galaxy. Over and over, it is you Earthmen, more than any of the others, who are unique. Your people are the only ones which find hydrogen cyanide poisonous. Yours is the only form of intelligent life which is carnivorous. Yours is the only form of life which has not developed from the grazing animal. And most interesting of all, yours is the only form of intelligent life known which stops growing upon reaching maturity.
Well, you don't look very large, Dr. Tolan. I should say that you're an inch taller than I, which would make you 6'2". Are you young, or are you just small on Hawkins' planet?
Neither. We grow at a diminishing rate with the years, so that at my age it would take 15 years to grow an additional inch. But we never entirely stop. And, of course, as a consequence, we never entirely die.
Did you hear that, Rose?
I never knew that before.
You mean people on Hawkins' planet are immortal?
No people are truly immortal. Few of us live more than several centuries of your time. Still, it is unpleasant to think that death may come involuntarily. It is something which to us is extremely horrible.
Oh, we're quite used to it.
You Earthmen live with the thought. We do not. This is why we are disturbed to find that the incidence of inhibition death has been increasing in recent years.
What is this inhibition death?
A pathological cessation of growth. It's a wasting disease. A tragic one. And absolutely incurable. It's fatal within a year.
What causes it?
Mr. Smollett, we know nothing about the cause of the disease.
Well, then why did you come to Earth to study it?
Because, again, Earthmen are unique. They are the only intelligent beings who are immune. The inhibition death affects all other races, while Earthmen are immune. Somewhere in the biochemistry of the Earthite, there is the secret of that immunity. How interesting it would be to find it.
Well, now, look here. You can't say that Earthmen are immune. From where I sit, it looks as if the incidence is 100%. All Earthmen stop growing, and all Earthmen die. We've all got the inhibition death.
Earthmen live up to 70 years after the cessation of growth. That is not death as we know it. Your equivalent disease is rather one of unrestrained growth. Cancer, you call it.
Drake was being pleasant to Dr. Tolan. I wasn't sure whether it was for my sake or for his own. Drake has never gone out of his way to please me. Sometimes when I'm gloomy, I look at him across the table and ask myself, why did he marry me? Then suddenly, after dinner in the living room, Dr. Tolan asked a question which surprised me.
You are a policeman, Mr. Smollett?
Yes.
I wonder, Could you show me through one of the police departments on your planet?
Well, I don't belong to a police department in exactly the way you imagine. However, I have some contacts in the New York City Department.
Would I be able to visit the Missing Persons Bureau?
Why are you interested in the Missing Persons Bureau?
Because there again, you are unique. There's no such thing as a missing person on our planet. We're always aware of each other's exact location, no matter where on the planet we might be.
Can you feel such awareness even now, on Earth?
You mean across space? No, I'm afraid not. But you see the importance of the matter. All the uniqueness of Earth should be linked. If the lack of this sense can be explained, perhaps the immunity to inhibition death can be also. Tell me truthfully, Mr. Smollett, if Mrs. Smollett were to leave this room and enter another without your having seen her do so, would you really not be aware of her location?
I really would not.
Amazing. Please do not be offended by the fact that I find it revolting as well.
Drake.
Yes, I'm awake.
Why were you talking about the inhibition death to Dr. Tolan?
I'm taking an interest in your work, Rose. You've always wanted me to take an interest.
I'd rather you weren't sarcastic.
Rose, I'm tired. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
No, right now.
I want no questions from you and no interference. You do your job and I'll do mine.
The nature of my job is open and known.
The nature of my job isn't, by definition, but I'll tell you this. Our six-legged friend is here in this house for some definite reason. You weren't picked as biologist in charge for any random reason. 2 days ago, he'd been inquiring about me at the commission. But that's my job, and I won't discuss it with you any further. Do you understand?
No. But I won't question you if you don't want me to.
All right, then go to sleep.
I lay stiffly on my back, and the minutes passed and the quarter hours. I was trying to fit the pieces together. One picture remained clear in my mind. It hovered over me mockingly. At the end of the evening, the Hawkinsite had turned to me just before he left the room.
Good night, Mrs. Smollett. You're a most charming hostess.
I wanted to giggle then. How could he call me a charming hostess? To him, I must have been a horror, a monstrosity with too few limbs and too narrow a face. But then I saw Drake. He turned white. For one instant, his eyes had burned with something that looked like terror. I'd never before known Drake to show fear of anything. And the picture of that instant of pure panic remained with me until all my thoughts finally sagged into the oblivion of sleep. I remember one question that nagged at me through the haze. Why did he marry me?
I found your Missing Persons Bureau interesting in that the large majority of missing persons are males.
Oh, well, that's not mysterious, Dr. Tolan. You simply didn't realize the economic setup we have on Earth.
My wife is an example of the minority of women who are capable of making their own way in the world.
Would you call the Missing Persons Bureau of New York a fair sampling of such cases in the planet at large?
Yes, I should think so.
Is there then an economic explanation for the fact that since interstellar travel has been developed, the percentage of young males among the missing is more pronounced than ever?
Well, that's even less of a mystery than the other. Nowadays, a runaway can hop the nearest space freighter. They're always looking for crewmen. No questions asked.
It's almost always young men in their first year of marriage.
Well, that's just the time a man's troubles seem the greatest. If he survives the first year, there's usually no need to disappear at all.
Would it offend you if I disconnected for a period of time?
Disconnected?
It's like sleep.
Oh.
I hope you haven't had too exhausting a day.
Just that I've been absorbing so many new and unusual concepts that I feel a desire for a little disconnection.
Drake, we've been sitting here for 10 minutes. Aren't you going to speak to me?
About what?
Last night you said you'd speak to me tomorrow. Well, I'm ready now.
I thought it was agreed that you wouldn't question me about my business in this matter.
I think it's too late for that. I know too much about your business by now.
What? What do you mean?
Drake, let go of my arm.
What are you talking about?
Dr. Tolan thinks that Earth is spreading the inhibition death purposely. That's it, isn't it?
Where did you get that idea?
It's true, isn't it?
I want to know exactly why you say that. Don't play games with me, Rose. This is the key.
Why don't you ask Dr. Tolan? He's an outstanding worker in the field. I looked over his papers this afternoon.
And what are his theories about the origin of the disease? Try to remember, Rose.
I think he blames Earth, but I think he admits they know nothing about how the disease is spread.
And I'll find out about this right now.
Drake, what are you going to do? What's that?
It's my gun. I'm going to ask him a few questions.
He ran out of the bedroom, down the corridor towards Dr. Tolan's room. I ran after him, caught him just as he entered the door. The Hawkinsite was standing there, motionless, his eyes unfocused, his 4 standing limbs sprawled out in 4 directions as far as they would go.
Now keep quiet. He'll gradually become aware of me. Get out of here.
No, Drake. What are you doing?
Quiet. There, you see? The skin on his face is beginning to quiver. Well, that's about all, Dr. Tolan. Don't throw in connection with any of the limbs. Your sense organs and the voice box will be quite enough.
Why do you invade my disconnection chamber? And why are you armed? What do you want?
The answer to certain questions.
With a gun in your hand? Sorry, Mr. Smollett, that the duties toward a guest are so badly understood on Earth.
You're no guest of mine, Dr. Tolan. You entered my home under false pretenses.
You had better shoot. It will save time.
You are convinced that you'll answer no questions? Now, that in itself is suspicious. It seems that you consider certain answers to be more important than your life.
I consider the principle of courtesy to be very important. You, as an Earthman, may not understand.
Perhaps not. But I can understand one thing. Your cyanide cylinder. Suppose I pull it out of your mouth. Rose, hold your breath until I close the valve. There. All right, Tolan. You realize what will happen to you if you don't answer the questions I'm going to ask you. Cyanide lack. It would be a most uncomfortable death. I'm only an Earthman. I can't appreciate its true horrors, but you can, can't you?
Drake, give him the cylinder. Give it back to him.
You have about 1 hour, I think, until the effects are irreversible. Talk quickly, Dr. Tolan. You'll have your cyanide cylinder back.
What are your questions?
What are your theories concerning the inhibition death? Why did you really come to Earth? What is your interest in the Missing Persons Bureau?
For years, I have been investigating the cell structure of my patients suffering from inhibition death. I've been forced to use the utmost secrecy, since the methods I used were frowned on by my people. Your society would have similar feelings against human vivisection, for instance. For this reason, I could not present the results I obtained to my fellow physicians until I had verified my theories here on Earth.
And what are they?
The inhibition death is entirely a disease of the mind.
You mean it's psychosomatic?
No, Miss Smollett, it is not psychosomatic. It is a true disease of the mind, a mental infection. My patients had double minds. Beyond and beneath the one that obviously belonged to them, there was evidence of another one, an alien mind. In short, there are not only 5 intelligences in the galaxy, but 6. And the 6th is parasitic.
This is impossible. You must be mistaken, Dr. Tolan.
No, I'm not mistaken. One can imagine such a parasite through the course of millions of years, perhaps losing all portions of its physical being. It will become nothing but pure mind, living in some mental fashion we cannot conceive of on the minds of others, particularly on the minds of Earthmen.
Why particularly Earthmen?
Have you not surmised that the 6th intelligence is a native of Earth? Mankind from the beginning has lived with it, has adapted to it, is unconscious of it. It is why the higher species of terrestrial animals, including man, do not grow after maturity and eventually die. And it is what is called natural death. It is the result of this universal parasitic infestation. Where Earthmen could survive the infection for decades with little harm, we others die a quick death within a year. Give me back my cylinder. You have your answer.
What about the Missing Persons Bureau?
Drake, look at his eyes. Give it back to him.
as we are not well adapted to the intelligence that infests man. Neither is it well adapted to us. It can live on us, but it cannot reproduce, with ourselves alone as the source of its life. The inhibition death is therefore not directly contagious among our people.
What are you implying, Dr. Tolan?
The Earthman remains the prime host for the parasite, and an Earthman may infect one of us if he remains among us. But the parasite, once it is located in an intelligence of the outer worlds, must somehow return to an Earthman if it expects to reproduce. We are infected and reinfected as the parasites return to Earth and come back to us via the mind of Earthmen who travel through space.
And the missing persons?
Are the intermediate hosts. The masculine terrestrial mind seems better suited for their purpose. But once reproduction has been taken care of, the infested male leaves by spaceship for the outer worlds. He disappears.
But this is impossible. What you say implies that the parasite mind can control the actions of its host. That can't be, or we would have noticed their presence here on Earth.
The control may be very subtle, and may moreover be exerted only during the period of active reproduction. I simply point to your Missing Persons Bureau. Why do the young men disappear? I'm quite ill now, cyanide lack, and I cannot speak much longer.
And you alone, of all your people, have any knowledge of this theory of yours?
I alone. You will give me back my cyanide cylinder now. I have become quite weak.
Sure. Sure, Dr. Tolan. Rose.
No!
Rose, come out of here. Come on now. Come on.
He's dead, you shot
Outside.
him.
Out. Quiet, Rose, quiet. I told you to have nothing to do with this.
Let me go. I want to go. I want to go.
Why? Because of something it was my job to do? You heard what that creature was saying. You suppose I could allow him to return to his world and spread those lies? They'd believe him. What do you think would happen then? They would have to kill us all to stop that disease.
What he said wasn't a lie. It was true.
Oh, come on now. You're hysterical. You need sleep.
I know what he said was true because the Security Commission knows all about the same theory and knows it's true.
Why do you say a thing like that?
Because you let it slip yourself.
Now sit down. Sit down. Well, so I gave myself away, did I? When?
You turned white when Hark Tolan referred to me as a charming hostess. Hostess has a double meaning, Drake. A host is one who harbors a parasite.
Well, I had no idea I was so transparent. Look, Rose, I've done my best to keep you out of this.
The truth can't be held down forever. Somebody else will find out. You can't kill them all.
We know that, too. We have no choice.
Why? Why can't we combine with the other intelligences and wipe out the parasite?
No, you don't understand. Hark Tolan was right. Man and his prehistoric ancestors have been living with this parasitic intelligence for uncounted ages. We've not only become adapted to it, we've become dependent on it. It is no longer a case of parasitism. It's a case of mutual cooperation. You biologists have a name for it.
What are you talking about? Symbiosis?
Yes, exactly. We have a disease of our own, remember? It is a reverse disease, one of unrestrained growth. We've mentioned it already as a contrast to inhibition death. It's all very well to say that if we could remove the parasite, we would have eternal growth in life. But it's impossible for us. If for any reason the parasitic intelligence, as Hark Tolan calls it, does leave the human body, or if its relationship to the human mind is in any way impaired, growth does take place, but not in an orderly fashion. We call the growth cancer, and there you have it. There's no way of getting rid of the parasite. We're together for all eternity. To get rid of their inhibition death, extraterrestrials must first wipe out all vertebrate life on Earth. There is no other solution for them. So we must keep knowledge of it from them. Now do you understand?
He got the body out of the apartment. I sat there numbly. He lied to me. Cancer could not be a disease that was an expression of lost ability for normal growth. Cancer attacked children while they were still growing. It could even attack embryonic tissue. Cancer had nothing to do with the presence or absence of normal growth. Its absence would not cause cancer. Drake lied, but no one would believe me. The young men who disappeared were usually in the first year of their marriage. Whatever the process of reproduction of the parasite intelligence was, it must involve close association with another parasite. The type of close and continuous association, as in the case of newly married couples. The parasite could control actions. I'd report them both, Drake Smollett and Hark Toland, to the Missing Persons Bureau. But they'd never find them, for they'd be out in space. I wanted to weep, but I couldn't. I was dry-eyed, and it was painful. I'd looked for the answers to so many questions, and I'd found them all. I even found the answer to the question I thought had no bearing on the subject. I finally learned why Drake had married me.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production.
The magic island of the South Seas lies hidden behind its mysterious bank of magnetic fog. The Gregory yacht and the Johnson rescue boat are lashed together, both held captive at Pier 5 on this weird island of Euclidia. On board the yacht, Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford are planning everything as exactly as possible. For at 8 o'clock, just after dark, they're going to try to escape from the island in Johnson's boat. Jerry and Joan are starting along the pier to the island, beginning what may prove to be a very dangerous adventure, as they will try to gain control of the radio and power chambers on the island. It is now just 6:30. 1 hour and a half before the plans must be completed.
Now you must remember, Jerry, that we are to speak of nothing out of the ordinary until we are in the sound channel.
Hey, Joan, why can't we use that sound channel elevator to go down in? You know, the one we came up in last time?
We will do so, Jerry, if we are able to get it to open for us. Remember that we must ask the control chamber for permission to enter.
Well, when those guards hear that we've got the antidote to bring those scientists out of their sleep, they'll be glad enough to let us go down in there.
But, Jerry, we haven't...
Yes, we have. You forgot it, so I brought it all right.
But, Jerry, Captain
Bradford... I know.
Said that...
Captain Bradford said for you to carry it, but you walked right out without it, so I stuck it in my pocket.
But, Jerry... Oh, Jerry, you stepped right on my foot.
Well, if you don't quit arguing with me, I might have to step on your neck. Now, listen. I've got the stuff Captain Bradford said would bring those Euclidean scientists back to their senses again. And don't give me any more argument.
Oh, Jerry, I begin to understand.
Oh, don't hurry. Next week will be a swell time to start understanding me.
But I did not mean to be stupid, Jerry. You need not be so angry with me. I was not trying to misunderstand you.
Maybe not, but you did just as good a job of it as if you tried to.
I am sorry, Jerry. And of course we must hurry to the laboratory. G47 will be very angry if we do not wake him and the other scientists as soon as possible.
Now you're coming alive again. Okay, here's the elevator. Recite that hocus pocus that opens it up.
Cleostra at the main elevator shaft. Cleostra at the main elevator shaft.
Maybe they won't let us go down there till we explain to them that we've got the stuff they want.
That should not be necessary. The guard must have heard us discussing it. Yes, Jerry. The elevator is opening again. The top of the shaft covering is arising from the island.
I guess you're right at that. Is this the same elevator we got stuck in when the submarine lock broke and flooded the 5th level?
Yes, Jerry. This is the same elevator.
We can sure pick the nicest places to play.
I think that will not happen again.
I think it better not.
Now the door will open, Jerry.
Now don't recite all that to me again, Joan. The last time we were in this thing, you said the door will open again. And it didn't. Let me figure this one out for myself.
Why are you so angry with me, Jerry?
Oh, I'm not angry. I'm in a hurry. Here we go. Oh, the floor sounds the same anyway. Now I'll push this thing for the 5th level.
That is right, Jerry.
Now, and down we go. They can hear us talking in the control chamber, can't they?
Yes, Jerry. All we say can be heard.
Well, I'm glad of that. There goes the first level.
Yes. But why do you say you are glad we may be heard in the control chamber?
Because if anything happens to the elevator this time, I'm going to yell until somebody comes and gets us out.
We have passed the second level.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll find all those Euclidean scientists still asleep when we get to the laboratory.
Captain Bradford said he was afraid they would be asleep for hours.
Oh, there's a third level. Yeah. Tex did act kind of worried about how long the gas would keep them asleep.
G47 will be very angry with Captain Bradford when he wakes up and thinks what the captain's formula did to him.
Well, it's his own fault. That's the fourth level. And if G47 hadn't been in such a hurry to get his hands on his formula, well, Tex would have told him to look out for that gas explosion if it didn't work just right.
He will blame the captain in some way, Jerry. I dread to think what will happen when he wakes up.
Well, I guess this is as far as we go.
Yes, the door will open automatically now.
That's what you said the last time.
But look, Jerry, it is really opening now.
Oh, that's good. I could get nervous awful easy in one of these things. Well, let's get going.
Yes, Jerry.
Now, where's that laboratory?
Right this way, Jerry.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of turned around.
Now, right in here, Jerry. Hurry inside.
Boy, you sure thought fast when you steered me in here, Joan. I pretty near forgot and went to the laboratory.
And you thought very swiftly, Jerry, up there on the surface of the island, when you spoke as if we were taking something from Captain Bradford to wake up those men in the chemical chamber.
Well, now that we're both thinking, let's get busy on why we're playing hide and seek down here. Where do you start to clear the way of the radio room?
There is a detailed chart of the island on the work table over there. I will point out the strategic points.
Okay, but let's get in some corner of the room where our voices don't sound like we're hollering down a well.
Come with me. We will find a zone of soundproofing near the chart table.
Well, our feet don't make any more noise. Hey, our voices are all right now.
Yes, Jerry. That was the end of the sound testing zone.
Swell. Now, where's this plan of the island?
Right here. Is it not beautiful?
Hey, I don't see any maps or drawings. What are you talking about?
This, Jerry. This shining cylinder is an exact replica of the island.
That thing?
Yes, of course.
Golly whiskers, Joan. Well, that looks like a big tin can, about the size of a 10-gallon can, with a cogwheel on the top of it.
Exactly, Jerry. And that is what this island looks like. That is a perfect scale model of the island.
Gee. And that cogwheel on the top is the piers.
Yes. Those arms extending from the upper rim are the piers, and those little metal projections, shaped like a falling drop of water, those are the control chambers on the surface of the island.
Boy. And all these little outline places in the sides. They show the levels, don't they? Now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the fifth level, isn't it?
Yes, and you may see the outlines of the submarine locks there. All of the submarines are at this level. They are kept here so they will still be free of the ocean floor when the island is submerged. Then the submarines may enter or leave their locks, and the surface of the island will be under 40 feet of water.
Boy, I'd like to be able to take that thing back home with me. Wouldn't I have something to show the boys and girls?
It weighs nearly 1,000 pounds, Jerry. I think you would have some trouble carrying it.
Yeah, I'd have to use both hands for that. Well, we've had enough fun. Now, where's a picture of the insides of this funny island? We've got to make our plans and move fast. Somebody's coming to investigate us if we don't hurry it up.
You may see the inside of the island with this model, Jerry.
Huh? You mean look through that steel?
No, this is not the transparent steel. This is opaque. But it opens up at the touch of a finger. So.
Well, giggling goldfish.
Jerry, you know very well that a
goldfish
does not giggle.
Oh, I know that. But I'll bet he would if he could see this. Look, Joan, the whole thing is opened up. Each level just slides out to the side as if there were little shells.
Is it not wonderful, Jerry?
Sure is, Joan. It's about the most wonderful thing like that I ever saw. Gee, look. Look, there's a little submarine in the locks.
And there is the chemical laboratory where the chemists are all asleep.
Oh, yeah. And we're near asleep here. Now, get your nose down close to this, Joan, and show me where every important control room on the island is.
The main radio control room, as you know, is there on the surface of the island.
Yeah, can't we do anything to that from here?
Not directly, but I will show you how we may handicap the operation of the beams later.
Never mind later. Do it now.
Very well. Now, down here, in the 10th level, the last one in the island proper, are located all the tremendous turbines and motors and generators that furnish the power and light for all devices on the island.
Then that's the place we've got to hit for, right away.
No, Jerry, we must not do that. That would spoil all our plans.
Well, I don't see how. If we can get to that machinery, we can shut off their power, can't we?
We could not get into the power chambers. Even the men who work there are locked in. Then they are relieved at intervals by an armed guard who lock a new group of men in there. And anyone other than the workmen assigned to that section who even appeared on that level would be punished severely and given no chance to explain.
Gosh, that doesn't sound so good.
But we do not want to go into that section, Jerry.
No? Why don't we?
Because if we could shut off the power down there, we would never get out of the island. Every door and elevator would lock automatically and remain sealed until the repairs were completed. Have you forgotten our experience in the elevator? Were we not locked in there?
Yeah. This begins to look not so easy, Joan.
Oh, do not lose heart, Jerry. Even if we could do all that safely, we would not want to. As we must have the power in the radio chamber when we are ready to send the message to Johnson. And we would be defeating our own purpose if we cut off the power.
Well, then what can we do that's any good?
Look into that little chamber, Jerry. The solid round one directly beneath the radio chamber. Just a few feet under the surface of the island.
Yeah, I see it. What's that?
That is the main electrical dispatch room. All the power and lighting circuits on the island pass through a series of master keys and switches there. And we can nearly control the whole island if we can take over that room.
But can we take it over?
It will require courage, Jerry, and what you call a lot of luck. But I think we may hope to do it.
Well, you know your way around here and up there better than I do. What's the plan?
We must go into the radio control chamber, directly above that one, and overcome the guards. Then repeat the procedure in the room below.
How many guards?
There will be only 2 in the upper chamber, I think, and 1 in the lower.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad. They've got ray guns, I guess.
Yes, powerful ones. Not like these little ones we have, and... Oh, Jerry, I have just thought of something.
Huh? Good or bad?
Wonderful. It is in this room that the protective paint is kept. There, Jerry, in that round vat.
What do you mean, protective paint?
The paint which will protect us against the rays for our hands and face.
You mean with that paint on our hands and faces, they can't hurt us with their ray guns?
Yes, Jerry. We have on Euclidean cloth garments, and with that paint on our hands and faces, the rays will be harmless to us.
Well, then let's get into the paint, quick.
Someone is in the room.
Can they see us?
Not yet. We are hidden here.
Then work fast. Shoot your ray gun off. I'll fall like you shot me. You tell them you caught me here.
Jerry,
Do as I say. I've got an idea. Shoot that gun so I can fall. Quick.
It is just before dark on the magic island of Euclidia. Captain Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are on the captive yacht, secretly transferring their valuables and navigation instruments to the diesel-motored cruiser which Johnson brought to the island to rescue them with. However, the boat was captured, but not Johnson, who transferred to another boat and is waiting somewhere north of the island for word from the prisoners. Jerry and Joan have gone into the lower levels of the island, trying to find a way to gain control of the Euclidean radio and power rooms. As they examine a scale model of the island in the sound channel, someone enters. Joan fires her ray gun, and Jerry falls as if the ray had put him to sleep. It is 1 minute later.
Was that the door?
Yes, Jerry. The guard is gone. You need not whisper.
Boy, was that a close call. And did you think fast when you told him you'd caught me in here and put me to sleep with a ray gun?
That was the only thing I could think of to tell him. And he knows this ray gun I have is one of the 300-second type, so he expects you to sleep for 5 minutes.
Oh, how long is it since I had to take a tumble when he came in the room?
Exactly 59 seconds from the time I fired the ray gun until you heard the door close. I was looking at my personal chronometer when a guard came in.
Oh, cut out that personal chronometer stuff. That's the wristwatch to you from now on. Personal chronometer.
Very well, Jerry. But we must hurry and do something now. We have not more than 2 minutes. Then the guard will return to take you to the confinement cells as I requested.
Yeah, and you sure fixed it fine for me. Telling that mug I'd stay asleep all right until he could go and get permission about putting me in a cell.
There was nothing else to do, Jerry, and we are fortunate in being in this particular chamber.
What's so good about it?
It is the only room on the island without direct communication to the control rooms. If we had been found in any other room, the guard would have used the speaker to the control room and taken you off at once.
Well, let's get a move on, or he'll have a swell chance to catch us here and tote me off anyway. Where can we go?
We have no choice. We must use the noisy elevator we used to leave this room before.
Okay, come on. We can talk some other place. If we can find a place where they can't hear us. Hey, I don't like my voice changing like that.
It is because we are crossing another sound zone in this room, Jerry.
Well, I know why it is, but I don't have to like it, do I?
Here is the elevator, Jerry. We must hurry.
Yeah. We have to yank this door open, don't we?
You open it yourself, if that is what you mean.
Well, that's it. Here we go. Now where?
I must think a moment, Jerry.
Think fast, then. When that guy comes back and finds we're gone, he'll know this elevator's the only place we could possibly be.
That is right, Jerry. Push the indicator for the 4th level. We will go up and leave the car there. I think I know where we may find a room in which to discuss our plans further.
Here goes. Boy, they sure skipped the soundproof gag on this one.
This noisy elevator may help us a great deal, Jerry. No one can hear us talking in here, and the progress of this elevator is not recorded in the control room.
I don't mind the noise, but what if that guard has come into the room we just left? Won't he hear this thing going up?
He will know we use it even if he does not hear it.
Yeah, and if he heard that, he'll know what floor we stopped it on, too.
Get out quickly, Jerry. I will send the car on up to another level.
Okay. Boy, listen to the quiet.
You cannot listen to quiet, Jerry. Silence is complete absence of sound, and you cannot hear an absence of sound.
Golly whiskers. Here we are in the middle of this crazy island with Euclideans hunting us with ray guns, and you stop to give me a lecture on how still is quiet.
If you are not more quiet, we will soon meet those ray guns.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Joan. Well, where do we go now?
We will hardly be heard here unless someone comes this way searching for us. Now, Jerry, I think this is what we must do.
Go on.
Just around this curve in this channel is one of the tiny cubicles occupied by a guard. We must take that station over.
And the guard's got a ray gun?
Yes, Jerry. And his ray gun is not just one of these harmless, sleep-producing ones we have.
Gee whiz, Joan. How do we do it?
We will have to catch him off his guard for an instant and put him to sleep with one of our ray guns.
Yeah, but even if we get a chance to do that before he uses his gun on us, won't he have that protective paint on his hands and face so the rays won't hurt him any?
Yes, he will undoubtedly have that. But I have noticed the Euclideans many times putting the paint on. They are very careless, Jerry. They hardly ever bother to put it on the backs of their necks or behind their ears. We could easily put the guard to sleep if he would turn his back.
Yeah, and if we only had a few minutes more down in that sound room, we could have covered ourselves with that paint, and by this time that guard will be down there looking for us.
And we must hurry, Jerry. Now we will walk quietly around the first turn in this wall. Then, I have it. You will go and speak to the guard. Tell him who you are. Explain that you are looking for the laboratory to wake the scientists up with a formula Captain Bradford has given you.
Yeah? Then what?
Pretend to be very stupid, Jerry. Even more so than you seem at times.
Hey!
Then you will get the guard to come out of his little niche in the wall and turn to point the way for you. He will naturally point toward the general elevator, as none of the Euclideans ever think of using this noisy one.
Oh, hurry up, Joan. Then what?
Then he will have his back turned this way, and I shall use my 300-second ray on him. In that way I will be sure of hitting the back of his head. And we can only hope he was careless in putting on the protective paint.
Wait a minute. How straight do those guns shoot?
You have seen them work, Jerry.
Well, I mean, how much does the beam scatter? How far do I have to be away from the guy so he won't hit me with a ray?
You may be within inches of him, Jerry. The beam will not be wider than his head, and I will not miss.
Well, if you do, don't stay there 5 minutes for me to wake up. Get yourself out of this and run for the yacht.
I will stay with you, Jerry.
Hey, listen. Listen. That elevator we just got out of. It's running again.
So it is. It is going down again. That means the guard in the sound channel has decided we came this way and will come after us.
Listen a minute, Joan. It just passed this floor going down. He'll be in it in a minute and be up here. We'd better hurry and get to this other guard.
No, wait, Jerry. We must not try that now.
Why not?
We wouldn't have time to dispose of the other guard before this one would come along and find us. And if we were seen with ray guns in our hands and the Euclidean guard on the floor in front of us, I'm afraid we might never get back to my mother's boat.
Okay, but what can we do about this fellow coming up in the elevator?
It is nearly 100 feet to the other guard. If we are very quiet, we may possibly be able to capture the one who comes out of the elevator without alarming the lookout.
Okay, we're on our way. What then?
Then we must stand on either side of the door. You over there, Jerry, and I will stand here, so. Now remember to keep as nearly flat against the wall as possible.
Okay, I'm all set. And remember about the back of his head.
The elevator is starting now.
Yeah, and he's only got one floor to come.
When you hear the magnet catch again, the car will be at this floor.
He's getting nearer now.
Have you your ray gun ready?
Yeah, if I don't get nervous and shoot myself.
Hush, Jerry. Ready.
Oh, boy. He went right on past. I thought for a minute he was coming out on this floor.
He did open the door just a crack, but I think he remembered the guard on this floor, and he knew that we could not have passed him.
Listen. There he goes. He didn't stop on the third level either.
Then we have more time than I had hoped for.
We don't need time. All we need is nerve enough to get after that guard up there.
I am not sure we need even do that, Jerry. I think I see how we may reach the power control room in comparative safety.
But I thought we didn't want to get there first.
We no longer have any choice, Jerry. They will search every inch of the upper levels for us now.
But we can't get off this level without going past that guard.
Yes, we can, Jerry.
How?
This elevator shaft.
But that guard's using the elevator. And it sounded to me like he'd stopped on the second level. So he'll be coming back and using the elevator some more when he finds out we're not on that level.
But we will not be in the elevator, Jerry.
Maybe not by the time he wants it. But he'll see it's been moved, and then we're going sure.
We will use the elevator shaft, but not the elevator.
Huh? Did you ever try using an elevator without an elevator in it? Nothing doing.
You can climb, can you not, Jerry?
Oh, sure I can climb.
Then we will climb down the side of this elevator shaft. There is a narrow steel ladder inside the shaft for emergencies.
Yeah. And when we're about halfway down, that guard takes a notion to make a quick trip to the bottom, and when the car drops, it'll knock us off the ladder like mosquitoes.
But the car will stay just where it is, Jerry. I know how to fix that. And we must go down. We can no longer go up because that guard is sure we are on the higher level.
No, you're right about that. And we'd better do something quick. It's about 7 o'clock, and we've only got until 8 to fix things so the boat can get away.
Very well, then. I will open this door. Now, if you will feel around just inside the door, on the right, you will feel the little ladder set into the wall of the shaft.
Oh, just inside here, huh? Yeah? Yeah, here it is.
You start down it at once, Jerry. I will follow you. And go quietly and fast. Do not use your flashlight. Hurry, Jerry.
Okay, Joan. Wait a minute, Joan. What's going to stop that elevator from being run down on our heads?
I'm going to tear a piece out of my dress and put it in the contact stop. Then the electrical circuit will not close, and the car cannot be operated.
Okay, but hurry up.
Yes, Jerry. Now I think I have a piece large enough. Go on down the ladder, Jerry, so I may step on it and partially close the door after me.
Going down, Joan.
Keep going, Jerry. I'm closing the door softly. So, now I will come down after you.
How far are we from the bottom of this thing?
More than 50 feet.
50 feet from the bottom? On this little steel ladder? In the dark? Aren't you afraid, Joan?
No, Jerry. If you use the ladder carefully and think about nothing except going down, it is no more dangerous at 50 feet than it would be at 5.
You may be right. Hey, we've passed the level already.
Yes, that was the 5th level where the laboratory is.
Joan, can you hear me?
Yes, Jerry.
Did you hear that? The elevator car is coming down on us.
But here's the 6th level. We will go in here and... Jerry! Oh, Jerry.
What's the matter?
I cannot open this door. We cannot get out of here, Jerry.
Exploring tomorrow. And now here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, the editor of Astounding Science Fiction magazine, John Campbell Jr.
In the biblical story of the handwriting on the wall, everybody could see that handwriting. The king, Belshazzar, could see it clearly enough. Trouble was he couldn't tell what it meant. If you recall, he had to call in an interpreter. A lot of people can see handwriting on the wall. The argument is, what does it mean? The thing that makes reading that handwriting on the wall so difficult many times is that the message is one we don't want. We don't want to be able to read. Many times when a man's faced with a problem that he can't solve, he doesn't want to admit that it's an absolute limitation that cannot be broken. Then the grand old art of buck passing comes in. That's when you start saying, well, it isn't my fault. He won't let me. Let's consider a situation of that type.
My name is Lester McClellan, Secretary General of the United Nations. It was a busy day in the year 2180. The ambassador from a now independent colony on Venus was due to see me that morning. There was a note on my desk requesting me to call Dr. Kingston, head of the UN Research Bureau, as soon as I had a chance. Kingston was working on a project vital to the future of mankind. I decided to call him. Bernie, I got your message. What goes?
Good news about the space drive project. There's been a substantial breakthrough. We've made a qualitative advance.
And what does that mean in plain English?
That we'll be finished with the groundwork in less than a year. Maybe even next month.
Have you prepared a news release on this thing?
Not yet, Lester. We're waiting for official approval first. Look, can you come down to the lab sometime today? I can give you a briefing on the new material. Fill you in.
I'll try, but I'm not promising. The ambassador from Venus is due any minute, and you know what a tough job I'm going to have with him.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Lester, if you're free at all...
I'll call you back if I am.
Right. Good luck with the ambassador.
Thanks. Oh, he's coming now. I can't talk anymore.
Try to see me later, will you?
Bye, Bernie.
Secretary General McClellan, I'm David Rockwood, Art Secretary of Venus Central Council. How do you do?
Won't you be seated, Mr. Rockwood?
Oh, thank you.
I'm happy to welcome you back to the planet of your ancestors. Is this your first visit to Earth?
It is.
I wish I could hope that you'll enjoy your stay here, but I can't do that, can I? Anyway, we're very happy that the Outworlds agreed to send an observer to the Earth. We have a major problem here, Mr. Rockwood. We think your worlds can help us. Of course, you're familiar with the text of the General Assembly resolution.
Of course. The three governments of the former Earth colonies of Mars, Venus, and Callisto have sent me as their representative. The space travel is not cheap, you know. We saw no need of three observers when one would do.
Yes. Yes, I see. I've arranged for you to have a brief guided tour of parts of the Earth to illustrate our population problem.
Oh, very well. We've agreed to reserve decision until we've seen Earth.
We can begin our tour now, if you like. And this is the Bureau of Population Statistics. You see that screen over there, Mr. Rockwood, the one with the red numbers on it? It's the up-to-date record on Earth's population. Every birth and death is automatically fed into the main computer channel as soon as it's known, and within an hour it's registered up there.
13,762,312,000. Our column doesn't stay still long enough for me to read it.
No, it doesn't. We average 500,000 new Earthmen a day, and the computer has to move fast to keep up. It's an average gain of 3 or 4 million people a week, 150 million a year. And the figure keeps rising.
What you need is a really efficient play. Something to clear away 3 or 4 billions.
I don't find that very amusing, Mr. Rockwood. An interplanetary war would achieve the same thing. Shall we move on? Down there you see New York City. Population 15.5 million.
Incredible. One long stretch of buildings. Well, the largest city on Venus has only 200,000 people.
I can remember when we still had trees in New York. Not anymore. Wood is a luxury on Earth now.
And so is living space. Where do you expect to put the billions you're figuring on in coming years?
I wish I knew. We're converting Mars and Venus and Callisto into livable worlds, but the rest of the planets are impossible to convert. We need population relief in a hurry.
Meaning emigration to Venus, Mars, and Callisto?
Yes. If you will permit us to send more settlers to the planets we built and colonized.
Oh, come now. Do you really think we owe you the right to send the overflow to us?
Let's finish the tour. We can discuss possible arrangements later.
You know, the handwriting doesn't have to be on a wall. Sometimes it can be on the face of a computer, as it was this time. But the handwriting was there. But now, what is the meaning of this handwriting? Does it mean the colonists should allow Earthmen to move out? Or does it maybe have some other meaning?
And this is Food Station 117, an artificial island in the Gulf of Mexico. Since we've hardly any open land on Earth for cultivation, we've turned to farming the sea. We developed some new foods. These are plankton steaks, synthesized from small sea creatures, microscopic crustaceans. And this bread comes from plankton flora. Taste it.
Oh, dear. Not very tasty stuff, is it?
No, it isn't. But half of Earth's population knows no other food. It's nutritious, and the supply is practically limitless. And we can't spare land for grazing animals. The only ones left are in the zoo. Care for another slice of steak?
No, thanks. No, thanks. This one will do very well. May I have something to drink, please, to wash away that taste?
How did you enjoy the rush hour subway ride?
It was a nightmare.
I've given you as good a sample of Earth's life as is possible in a single day. You've seen much of North America, but it's worse elsewhere. Why, in Asia alone...
Please, Miss McLaren, no more statistics. You've made your point over and over again.
I'm sorry if I've tired you. But I wanted to show you the contrast between Earth and your own uncrowded planets. And now I appeal to you, Mr. Rockwood, in the name of the humanity that's common to all our worlds.
You want us to let you send overflow masses to us?
We built those colonies as a safety valve for overpopulation. And now that we need to use that valve, it's shut tight. Mr. Rockwood, I'm a reasonable man. I know we're asking something that amounts to an imposition, but I beg you.
I agree. Earth is terribly overcrowded. The population of Venus is about 700 million. Mars has about 1 billion. Callisto, 300 million. Now, these figures are close to the peak of optimum population. And since our death rates are low, thanks to medical advances, we have to keep a careful watch over birth rates to maintain normal population distribution.
I ask you to
hear me out, please. We're deeply moved and sympathetic to your plight. We wish we could help you. We feel pity, the pity we would have for an idiot who, given a loaded gun, proceeds to blow his brains out.
What did you say?
I knew how overcrowded Earth was before I took your little tour. But we haven't grown overcrowded and won't. Why? Because we have small worlds, smaller than Earth. We can't allow ourselves to breed at Earth's rate. We see the inescapable need for certain self-restrictions,
You don't see the moral obligation to accept some of our excess people?
We see a moral obligation to refuse. To force you to see your real problem and its solution.
I am empowered by the General Assembly, Mr. Lockwood, to exert any means within my power to make you change your mind. And Earth, I'm afraid, has more armed vessels than your 3 worlds combined.
So you're threatening war?
Not war. Survival. You have country estates, rolling green fields, and we don't have an inch of free space.
So you'll fight to make us let you in? You're bigger fools than I thought. 14 billion of you crammed onto one world, and a mere 2 billion of us scattered over 3. Why, a war would ruin you. We'd bomb you in a shotgun spray and knock off 100,000 no matter where we struck. While you'd have to pry us out of nooks and crannies. We'd lose perhaps 100 million people, but you'd lose billions. I think we could risk it.
So you won't yield. You'd risk war even. You won't take colonists. When we colonize the stars, we shall do it differently.
The stars? Yes, you're counting on them as your last hope. But do you seriously think colonizing the stars can help your population problem? Oh, look, Mr. McClellan, even if you invented a workable star drive tomorrow, it would take 5 years before the first ships got off the ground. You're adding 500,000 a day. Now, how many people would these ships hold? 1,000 each? With 500,000 new births a day, you wouldn't be able to ship people to the stars fast enough to keep up. The math's against you, sir. You'd have to run as fast as you could just to stay where you are.
I suppose there's no further negotiation we can do, Mr. Lockwood. I'll arrange for your immediate return to your home planet.
But will you think about what I've said?
I'll think about it, yes. But we have 14 billion people on Earth.
Mr. McClellan, we're not anxious for war. But your threat doesn't scare us either. We'll fight to defend our way of life. And we'll win, sir. Good day, Mr. McClellan.
Human enough to want to pass his troubles along to another person. In this case, he wanted to make it that his troubles were because the colonists wouldn't let people emigrate. That wasn't the trouble. The trouble was emigration had become impossible. And that was the thing that he had to accept. And like the king in the biblical story, he didn't want that interpretation of the handwriting on the computer.
Sit down, Bernie. Tell me how this star drive of yours is coming.
I think we've got it licked, Lester. But you tell me, are the colonies going to open up?
No.
No? But they can't do that. They just can't clam up and refuse to take in Earthmen. Oh, Lester, we built those colonies. They don't have the right...
I want to talk about the star drive, Bernie. How close to finished is it?
Well, we haven't fully worked out the field equations yet. But with some fast computer work...
I'm not interested in equations. How long do you think it'll be before Earth has spaceships that can travel faster than the speed of light, fast enough to reach the stars?
I told you before, Lester. Maybe a month, maybe 2 months. Till the pilot model is finished, that is. No more than a year, certainly.
Now, you had some very interesting figures thrown at me today. Have you ever realized how many ships we'd need to send out before we can even make a dent in our population? Hundreds a day.
Well, even so, it would help some to get...
No, it wouldn't. Bernie, I want you to do me a favor. When you perfected your new star drive, hide it. Don't destroy it, because we'll need it someday, but sit on it. Put the schematics away until I give the word, and don't publish your findings.
Have you gone crazy, Lester?
No, I've suddenly gone stark, raving sane. Look, the new star drive is a dodge, a subterfuge. It's a substitute for the real answer to our problem, Bernie. Venus is not overcrowded. They're controlling population increase there.
What does all this have to do with my star drive? Why should I stop work on it?
Because it will crowd the issue. The people won't believe the figures. As long as there's what seems to be a way out, they'll cling to it. If you suppress the star drive, there'll be no way out at all. And Earth either cracks wide open or it grows up. There's no middle course.
And you're suggesting that I deliberately destroy my life's work?
Just for a while. Sure, it's a great thing to explore the stars, but first we need to control ourselves. If the world learns that there's a star drive, they'll think it's a way out. It isn't, but we'll never convince them of it. First, we set up our population control programs, make them see the need for them, get them into operation, and then reveal the existence of the drive. We may have to wait a generation.
No, I absolutely refuse. You can't meddle with science this way, Lester. Research must continue. If you interfere with me this way, well, I'll have no choice but to resign.
Your resignation is accepted, Bernie. Effective immediately.
What? But I only meant that
I'm sorry, Bernie.
So you're actually fine?
If you want to call it that. You don't want to understand how disastrous it would be to continue work on the star drive, okay. Your successor will be a man who will understand such things. Maybe he won't be as gifted as you are, Bernie, but that's all right. The stars can wait.
Lester, you can't fire me like this. So cold-bloodedly, so ruthlessly. We've been friends for years.
You think I don't know that. But all along, I've been soft-hearted, been making concessions, taking the easy way out. We farmed the seas. We colonized 3 worlds. We cleared away half the Antarctic ice pack to make new land. All big, important things, but all dodging the real issue. Now I'm backed against the wall. The whole world is. I can't be soft-hearted anymore.
Lester, this doesn't sound like you.
I know. You think I like the spot I'm in now? But a new order has to come about. An order which demands strength, tough-mindedness, courage. It's either that or a situation I don't want to think about. I can't let anything stand in the way now.
Do I have time to clear out my office?
You can have until tomorrow. And remember that you're still bound by security regulations in case you plan to scream to the news sheet.
I'll remember it. So long, Lester.
Good luck. Thanks. I'm probably going to need it.
Limitations even to what science can accomplish, the highest technology. The fundamental physical limitations of the amount of matter there is in the universe. Old Malthus was right. With a higher technology, you can push the limit out a little further, but not beyond the limits of the universe. They're fundamental. It becomes necessary, sooner or later, to go in for quality instead of quantity. Not for numbers, but for fineness. Not for bigger, but for better. That's the direction we've got to go.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bends steel in his bare hand, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice. But before we join Superman, listen.
And now to our story. Things haven't been going so well with our friends. Searching for 9 American engineers lost in the uncharted Andes Mountains, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Editor Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, and their airplane pilot have fallen into the hands of a vanished race of Inca Indians. At the moment, the situation is tense. Lois, Jimmy, and Bronson have been sentenced to death unless they reveal the whereabouts of Kent and Editor White. But they cannot tell because the 2 men escaped from the dungeon under the Inca Palace while Lois, Jimmy, and the pilot were sleeping. In the meantime, Kent and White, accompanied by John Craig, one of the missing engineers, have returned to the dungeon to find it empty. Listen.
Strike a match, Kent. They must be here.
Tell you they're not. The dungeon's empty.
I have a match. I've been saving them, guarding them as though they were pure gold. Here, I'll strike one. You're right, Kent. They're gone, but where? Could they have discovered that loose stone in the wall?
Not a chance.
Now, look at this.
What is it, Mr. Craig?
The dungeon door. It's wide open. Now, wait. I'll light another match. So it is. And what does that mean?
Simply that Lois, Jimmy, and Bronson were taken out of here. It means something else, too.
What?
That our Inca friends know we escaped and are probably combing the city for us at this very moment. Oh, I'm sorry it had to happen this way. I was hoping to gain their confidence and in that way get them to allow the government to build a highway across Tupungato Mountain.
You'll never do that, Mr. Kent. Not if you stand on your head. I talked myself deaf, dumb, and blind. Cuba was willing to listen, but Nehru, leader of the Incas nation, would have none of it.
I wish you'd stop worrying about that highway, Kent, and give a little more thought to our safety. We're in a fine pickle now. Now, where do we look for Lois, Jimmy, and Bronson? If we stick our noses into that courtyard, we'll have 100 bloodthirsty savages slicing away at us with their golden hatchets.
The Incas are not savages, Mr. White. I've told you that a dozen times.
Well, they're not Sunday school teachers either.
No, this isn't getting us anywhere. I'm going out to find Lois and Jimmy. I suggest you two stay here for the time being.
Are you crazy?
It's suicide, Mr. Kent. You're quite right about the Incas not being savages, but I don't think they'd hesitate to kill to protect their civilization.
Don't worry, I'll be careful.
You stay right here, Kent. I'm not going to be responsible for...
What's the matter? Someone's coming. Stand back against the wall.
I don't hear anyone.
I do.
Then why don't you get away from that door?
They can't see me. It's pitch dark. Hear those footsteps?
Yes, I hear them.
3 Inca warriors coming down the corridor.
How can you see them if it's pitch black?
One of them's carrying a torch. Keep quiet. Don't move a muscle. I've got an idea.
Kent, don't you do anything reckless.
Shh, quiet. Here they come. I'm going out to meet them.
Kent, don't. Kent, where are you? What happened?
Right here. Everything's under control.
What in heaven's name are you doing?
Dragging these Indians into the dungeon. There, that does it. Now we'll close the door.
Will someone please strike a match so I'll know what sort of madness is going on here?
Just a moment, Mr. White.
There. Good grief, Kent. Did you knock the 3 of them out cold?
Oh, well, not exactly, no.
Oh, who did? They stretched on the floor like dead fish.
Well, it was pretty lucky, I guess. I hit one of them, and he tripped and knocked the other 2 down. I guess they struck their heads on the stone wall of the corridor.
Kent, one of these days you're going to get what's coming to you trying to play Superman.
Very funny, Mr. White. My trying to play Superman. Very funny.
Well, it won't be. Mark my words.
They'll regain consciousness soon. What do you intend doing with them, Mr. Kent?
We're going to try something that failed before, Mr. Craig, but may work now.
And what's this?
I know you won't approve, Mr. White, but we're going to strip these warriors and wear their native costumes.
Disguises again?
Yes.
Didn't it get us into enough trouble once before?
Well, I don't think it will this time. In the first place, it's dark and we won't be recognized so easily. In the second place, it's the only way we can walk out without having them pounce on us. All right, now you take the short one, Mr. White. Mr. Craig and I can take the other 2. Come on, now let's work fast.
All right, but I don't like this. If we get caught this time, we're in for it good and proper.
Stripping the colorful native costumes from the unconscious Inca warriors, Kent, White, and Craig prepare to venture out disguised as members of the tribe. In the meantime, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are living through some harrowing minutes in a small anteroom off the council chamber. At the moment, Bronson the pilot is being questioned in the chamber itself, while Lois stares out the window at the full moon slowly moving toward the center of the heavens.
It wouldn't be so bad, Miss Lane, if you didn't keep watching that moon.
I can't help it, Jimmy. The minutes are slipping away.
The moon is climbing higher and higher.
I know, but try not to think about it.
I have tried. It doesn't work. Nehru's last words keep running through my mind. Remember what he said? The moon has but an hour to reach the center of the heavens. Unless within that time you reveal the whereabouts of your friends and the manner of their escape, you, the boy, and the man shall die.
Oh, why repeat it? It doesn't do us any good.
I'm afraid nothing can do us any good, Jimmy. Why won't they believe us? We're telling the truth. We don't know what happened to Clark and Mr. White.
Oh, it doesn't make sense to me. The whole thing doesn't make sense. Mr. Kent wouldn't run out on us, and neither would Mr. White.
They were gone when the guard opened the door of the dungeon.
How did they get out? And where did they go?
Oh, I don't know, Jimmy. I can't think anymore. Why are they keeping Bronson in that council chamber so long? He's been in there for almost half an hour. If they are going to get rid of us, why don't they do it now and get it over with?
I have come to have a last word with you.
Where's Bronson, the pilot? What have you done with him?
The Supreme Council has decided he may be of great value. We of the Incarnation are curious concerning the winged ship that brought you to Tupangato. I would like to know more about it. The man of whom you speak will not suffer the penalty of death for the present.
But we will, is that it?
Unless you have reconsidered.
There's nothing to reconsider. Why don't you believe us? We're telling the truth. We don't know what happened to the others.
Honest, we don't, mister. We were sleeping when they got away.
Nehru has spoken, and the council has given its consent. There is no other course.
All right, then get it over with. We're ready, Jimmy and I.
You have until the moon reaches its zenith.
Why wait? It won't be any different in 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 days.
You are young and fair, and the boy is but a stripling. We of the Incarnation have no desire to take life that is scarce begun. We are peace-loving people, but at all costs we must protect the civilization we have built in these mountains. In the world from which you come, there is war and pestilence and the hatred of one man for another. We do not wish to become a part of that world. Therefore, our secret must remain with us. No stranger who has set eyes on the city of the Incarnation may leave it again.
Oh, then it wouldn't matter if we did know what happened in that dungeon. We're doomed, one way or the other.
No. Speak, and the sentence of death will not be executed. You will live long among us until your years are many.
You mean we won't ever be able to go back to Metropolis?
That is what I mean.
Oh, what about the Daily Planet? What about my mother? What about...
It's all right, Jimmy. We tried hard. We did all we could to help the outside world he talks about get rid of war and pestilence and hatred. That's what you don't understand, Cooper. This road, this highway, our government isn't building it for Jimmy or for me or for any one person. It's for humanity. It's for white men and brown men, rich and poor. Why do you think we have war and hatred? Because people who are separated by thousands of miles of jungles and mountains don't know one another. This highway will join them in a bond of friendship. They won't fight, they won't hate, they won't... No, what's the use? You wouldn't understand.
I understand perfectly. I am but one of 5. There is nothing I can do.
And why waste time?
What's that?
The hour has come. The moon has reached its crest. You have a final word?
No. I've said everything I have to say.
And that goes for me.
The guards are waiting on the balcony. They will escort you to the Valley of the Shadows.
We're ready. Aren't we, Jimmy?
Yes.
Digamano Pe.
Surrounded by warriors of the tribe, Lois and Jimmy move slowly across the huge courtyard in the direction of the shadowed hills. At the same moment, 3 men in native dress are approaching the palace.
So far, so good. A dozen of them have passed us by without question. There's only one thing, Mr. White.
What?
Their word of greeting seems to be Wana. Make use of it. If they greet you, greet them. Mr. Craig's been doing it.
I know, but whenever one of them comes close, my false teeth begin to chatter so much I can't say boo, let alone Wana.
Here come 2 of them now. Try it. Wait for them to greet us.
Wana.
All right.
Yeah, but I almost swallowed my teeth. Mr. Kent.
What's the trouble, Craig?
See that group of warriors walking across the courtyard? There must be 20. I don't mind 1 or 2, but let's stay away from 20.
Seems to be going someplace.
Could it be to the tunnel? You know, my colleagues are in prison there.
That's strange.
What's strange?
But I saw a flash of blonde hair.
Are you losing your mind? What are you talking about?
Blonde hair, like Jimmy's.
Kent, for heaven's sake, stop talking in riddles.
Let's get a little closer to those warriors.
No, nothing doing. I'm not sticking my head in any lion's mouth. Now, come on. You said we were going to the palace.
All right. I'd like to investigate that.
Investigate what?
Never mind. I'm probably wrong. Let's go.
If Kent only knew how right he was, if he only knew that his super sight had caught the glint of Jimmy Olsen's blonde hair even in the darkness. Has he missed his one chance to rescue Lois and Jimmy from the Valley of the Shadows? Don't miss the next startling episode. There's a thrill a minute. Tune in and listen with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine, presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, then steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice. But before we join Superman, listen.
And now to our story. Searching in the Andes Mountains for 9 American engineers who disappeared while surveying the route of a trans-hemisphere highway, Clark Kent, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Lois Lane, and Bronson the pilot were captured and imprisoned in the palace dungeon of the Inca Indian. But Kent and Perry White slipped out while the others were asleep and eavesdropped on a meeting of the Supreme Council. They overheard Nehru, chief of the Inca nation, order the 5 prisoners brought before him. Hurrying back to the dungeon, Kent and White lost their way in the maze of corridors and accidentally found John Craig, one of the missing engineers. Together, they located the dungeon, only to discover that Lois, Jimmy, and Bronson were gone. Subduing 3 Inca guards and donning their ornate costumes, Kent, White, and Craig went in search of Lois and Jimmy, unaware that Nehru had sentenced them to death. Leaving Craig to stand watch, Kent and Perry White crossed the darkened courtyard just in time to see a detachment of native guards marching away toward the mysterious Valley of the Shadows. Suddenly, Kent stopped short and stared at the backs of the marching guards. Listen.
That's strange.
What's strange?
But I saw a flash of blonde hair among those guards marching out of the courtyard.
What are you talking about, Kent?
Blonde hair like Jimmy's. I'd like to investigate, Mr. White.
Investigate what?
Group of warriors.
Mad? I'd just as soon stick my head into a lion's mouth. Now, come on. We're going to the palace and no place else.
Suppose you go on and I'll go along.
Nothing doing. You're sticking with me.
All right. I was probably mistaken anyway. Come on, let's go.
Approaching the Inca palace, Kent and Perry White, pretending to be guards, take up positions on the balcony outside the window of the council chamber.
I see Bronson. He's the pilot. But I don't see Lois or Jimmy.
Quiet, Kent. Nehru, the big chief, is getting up. He's summoning the guard. They're taking the pilot away.
Probably to the same place Lois and Jimmy are, down to the dungeon again. Let's go.
Bronson was smiling. I wonder why.
I don't know what he's got to smile about. Careful down these steps. This is where you tripped and fell.
I'll be careful. But Kent, look. Those guards and Bronson, they're coming out of the palace.
I'm going to join them. Maybe I can find Jimmy and Lois.
I'll go along. It'll look better if 2 of us join that double column.
Be careful. Hide in the shadows and fall in as the column goes by. Ready? Let's go.
They seem to be leaving the palace grounds.
Mighty strange. Great Scott. We're starting up the mountainside. What do you suppose that means?
Search me. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Craig say the other engineers were in prisons in the tunnel?
You're right. I'll bet that's where they're taking Bronson. Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Here we are. It's the exit to the tunnel, all right. Hey, look at those two guards with the torches. They're waving them around in circles, Kent.
4 circles, to be exact. That's probably some kind of signal. Yes, it is. Look.
The rock is turning.
Come on, Mr. White. Looks like we go in. Funny I didn't notice this corridor before.
Look at the stone doors. Each one must lead to a cell.
They're putting Bronson in. Mr. White, I'm going in with him. You get back to Craig's cell under the palace. I'll meet you there.
I can't, don't. It may be dangerous.
Not my chance while those other guards are in there. See you later.
Don't forget to come back for me, you hear me? I'm supposed to be free. That's what the boss Nero said.
What they are, devils. It's a lot better than dying.
What did you mean by that, Bronson?
Who's there? For heaven's sakes, who's there? Answer me.
It's Clark Kent. I sneaked in with the guards.
Kent? No, I don't believe it.
Don't you recognize my voice, Bronson?
Yeah, sure. That makeup. Look like one of the Incas. Can you blame me for not believing it's you?
You don't sound very happy about my being here.
Why should I? You've got their blood on your hands.
Whose blood? Come on, Bronson, speak up.
Sure. Why shouldn't I? Lois Lane and your little chum was sentenced to death because of you.
What?
That's right. They're probably dead by now. If you and White hadn't sneaked out of the dungeon, leaving us to take the rap, there wouldn't have been all this trouble. And the girl couldn't explain where you were. The councilman sentenced the kid and her to death.
How do you know? Why did they let you go?
I'm too valuable. They want me to teach them to fly the plane.
So, you managed to save your own hide. Where are Lois and Jimmy? Where did they take them?
I don't like that tone.
Never mind my tone. What have they done with Lois and Jimmy? Answer me, Bronson.
All right. Take it easy. Get them tough won't do you any good. I figured them brown devils would catch up with us sooner or later. Might have had to toss you into the clink with me as something else.
Bronson, I'll break every bone in your body unless you tell me what happened to Lois and Jimmy. I'm warning you.
Oh, wait. I'll tell you. Give me a chance.
All right, go ahead.
All I know is the council sentenced him to death because the girl wouldn't tell how you and White escaped.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. I was there when the guards took him away.
Where did they take them?
Some place called the Valley of the Shadow. I don't know where it is, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter. It's too late now. You can't get out of here. Stone doors are a foot thick.
Oh, don't let that worry you, Bronson. I've gone through thicker doors. Listen. It's open now. Wide open.
Kevin, I can't believe it. It's amazing. Wait for me.
Nothing doing. Stay right where you are. I'll just push this door back in place.
Kevin, let me out. I didn't get what I said. I'll do it for you. Please.
Sorry, Bronson. So long.
Now to
get out of the tunnel.
That's Superman. And find the Valley of the Shadows. I'd feel safer if I knew where to look. This mountain covers 100 square miles, and there were probably thousands of valleys. Well, here's the exit. I hate to bust up their trick door, but plowing through it is the quickest way. Oh, wait. Someone's coming. It's an old Indian carrying a torch. He might be able to tell me how to get to the Valley of the Shadows. Good thing I'm still wearing this Inca costume. There must be enough of that brown stain still left on my face to get by. I'll chance it.
Oh, wanya, nigga.
Uh-oh. He can't understand English. I'm sunk.
Wanya, nigga.
I am chief of a distant tribe, old man. Do you speak the tongue of the white man?
Yes, I have been taught that tongue.
Good. Then we may speak together. I come in search of the Valley of the Shadows. You know of such a place?
Who does not know of it? There the sacred river vanishes as if by magic into the bowels of the earth, churning and boiling like a thing possessed.
I do not understand.
It is strange, but true. All my life have I marveled. There is a river pouring over a cliff into the valley. Thunder is as nothing to the fury of it.
But you say this river vanishes into the earth?
It is so. From a great height,
the water falls into a huge hole in the ground. The wise men say this hole goes to the center of the earth. That I do not know, but it must be true, since the water does not overflow the hole.
Where is this sacred river? You will take me to it?
It is far distant, and I am an old man who travels slowly.
I will carry you. I'm young and strong. It is important that I reach the Valley of the Shadows quickly.
You need not tell me why, for I know. Tonight, a sacrifice will be made to the river god.
A sacrifice?
Yes, a woman and a boy. I heard the guards speak of
Well, then hurry. Open the tunnel. There's no time to lose.
Stand back. I will pull the lever.
There. It is open. Now, which way, old man?
I do not like to be reminded of my years. You may call me by name, Siba.
Yes, of course. Which way, Siba?
First, the tunnel must be closed. There are captives in the cells. White men who soon will be sacrificed to the river god.
Close it quickly.
Step outside the tunnel. Now, I will close it.
Now, which way? Just tell me.
Wait. There is one thing more. Let me hold the torch higher. There. You say you come from a distant tribe?
Yes, a tribe dwelling across the mountain.
You lie.
No, believe me, Siba.
I say you lie. The precious stone you wear around your neck has changed color. It is the stone of truth. And when its color changes, he who wears it lies.
Now listen, Siba. You are old and weak. I am young and strong. Lead me to the Valley of the Shadows, or I will not answer for what will happen.
It does not matter. You have lied, and no longer can I trust you. I will not betray my people. I will not lead you to the Valley of the Shadows, though it means my death. I have spoken.
Stunned, Superman towers over the aged Indian, knowing full well that for once he is helpless with all his amazing powers. Siba has revealed enough to convince Superman that Lois and Jimmy are in grave danger of losing their lives. Will he be able to find the Valley of the Shadows without Siba's help? And if he does, will he be too late to prevent the weird human sacrifice? Don't miss the next thrilling episode. Tune in and listen with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Stand by to raise ship. Blast off -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars. We take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Roaring out of the blackness of the void and circling the planet Mars, the rocket cruiser Polaris completes the first half of a training flight which will prove conclusively whether Astro is a victim of space fever, the most dreaded disease of all spacemen, a disease that will ground the man forever, keep him from ever flying a rocket ship again. Now, as the spaceship is secured on the landing ramp at Marsport, Captain Strong calls his crew to the control deck.
All right, cadets, you can have 4 hours liberty. It'll take the maintenance crew at least that long to repair the Polaris.
Liberty? Oh, brother, just what I was hoping for.
But only 4 hours, Cadet Manning, not a second longer.
Aye, aye, Captain Strong.
You boys can blast off anytime you wish. I'll stay on the ship with the maintenance crew.
4 hours, that's a lifetime. Here's where the Martian dolls get a break. How do I look, Tom?
Repulsive, as usual.
I like you, too, Junior. See you later.
Hey, Manning, you mind if I come with you?
Sure, Harvey. You can watch the master operate.
Okay.
So long, Tom. I'll be seeing you.
So long, Harvey. You know, Astro, that Harvey isn't a bad guy at all. He was right on the ball when the fire broke out.
Yeah, sure. A real hot shot.
Well, don't take it out on him, Astro. He had nothing to do with replacing you in the unit. Say, have you any plans for this Liberty?
Why, Tom? Has Captain Strong told you to keep an eye on me?
Say, what's eating you? You're acting like a spoiled kid. I'm on your side, Astro, remember?
Thanks. But if you don't mind, I'll work things out in my own way. And I don't need any help from you, nursemaid.
Hey, you guys, better step on it. Captain Strong's almost ready to blast off. Get into your fatigue.
Okay, don't rush me, Tom. There's plenty of time.
Enjoy your Liberty, Harvey.
Oh, I sure did.
Hey, what about Astro? You fellas see anything of him?
No, not me, Tom.
Me either.
I hope he's all right.
Be great if he misses blast off. That'll be his finish.
You'd kind of like that, wouldn't you, Manning?
Huh?
Astro, I was getting worried about you.
Why don't you mind your own business? I'm doing all right by myself.
Attention all hands. The repairs to the Polaris are completed. We raise ship in 5 minutes. Take your stations.
Jupiter, I better hurry.
Astro, you better get into your fatigue. You haven't got much time.
That can wait. I'm going up to the control deck. There are a few things I want to straighten out with Captain Strong.
Huh. I wonder what he's up to now.
I don't know. But that 4-hour Liberty didn't seem to help his disposition any.
Captain Strong?
Huh? Oh, Astro. What are you doing here? You'd better get topside. We raise ship in 5 minutes.
And I'm still a passenger.
I'm afraid so, Astro.
But I came through the last trip without any trouble. Why can't I join the crew now?
Sorry. Your test period isn't over yet.
How long is this test period? Forever?
Now, listen, Astro. I'm getting a little tired of your belligerent attitude. When I think you're ready for duty, I'll let you know. Now, will you please stop bothering me?
Very well, sir. Then I guess this is as good a time as any to let you know. As soon as we get back to Earth, I'm resigning from Space Academy.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by. Spaceman, if you want to talk about rocket ship power, then the man to talk to is somebody like Tom Corbett. He knows plenty about those rocket ship burners. Why, just the other day, he was...
And then to turn the ship, you set the steering vanes inside the rocket tubes and just give the steering rockets a little old blast. Just like that. You know, the cadets need energy, just like a rocket ship does. That's why we help ourselves to plenty of Kellogg's Pep at breakfast time. Then, when we have to turn out for action afterwards, we've got a supply of food energy to call on. Pep gives you the kind of food values a spaceman needs to build strong bones, strong muscle, and healthy teeth. So if you spacemen out there are thinking of joining up at the Academy someday, why, I'd sure suggest that you start eating plenty of Kellogg's Pep, starting tomorrow morning.
That's right, Tom. For build-up food values, and don't forget that swell flavor, too. The cereal you want is Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep. Returning to the Polaris after 4 hours' liberty on the planet Mars, Astro has made an important decision. Now, as the powerful rocket ship is prepared for a blast-off, he reports to the control deck to inform Captain Strong.
That's what I said, sir. As soon as we return to Earth, I'm resigning from Space Academy.
Resigning? Now, wait, Astro. Why don't you think about this a little more?
Well, during the past couple of days, sir, I've thought of nothing else.
I see.
We're ready to blast off, sir. Cadet Harvey's standing by on the power deck.
I'll have the radar bridge warmed up and 2 shakes of the Spacebug's antenna, sir.
Oh, very well, cadets, but before you take your stations, I think I'd better tell you that your shipmate, Astro, intends to resign from the Academy.
Astro, you're kidding.
This is nothing to kid about, Tom.
Wow, now I've heard everything. Mr. Space Academy himself, the guy who waves a flag at me every time I open my mouth about the Academy. Now he's quitting.
That's enough, Manning. One more crack out of you and you'll make this trip in the brig. Now take your station.
Aye, aye, sir.
Astro, we won't discuss this anymore right now. You better go to your bunk and secure yourself for blast-off.
Look, sir.
Yes?
I don't want you to think that I'm a... Well, never mind, sir.
All right. Strap in, Tom.
He's just rattled, Captain Strong. He's been taking a beating ever since the day he blacked out. He didn't really mean what he said.
I think he did, Tom. Well, there's no time to discuss it now. Attention, crew. Prepare to raise ship. Power deck, check in. Full report.
Power deck, aye. Rocket head temperature's normal. Holding standard space speed.
Radar bridge, check in.
Radar bridge, aye. Have cleared Mars orbit, level 3. Just in time, sir. There's quite a storm down there.
Are we on orbit to Earth?
Dead on, sir.
Very well. You come down and relieve Corbett at the controls.
Me?
This is still a training flight, Manning. Get down here.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now, Tom. Sir? You take over on the radar bridge. You can use the astrogation experience.
Glad of the chance, sir.
I'll go below and see how Harvey handles himself. Tom, if Astro leaves his bunk, send him down to me, will you?
Are you going to talk to him, sir?
I'll try my best. See you later.
Okay, Junior, you're relieved. Let a real space pilot take over.
Okay, hotshot. I'm handling the radar bridge.
Radar bridge? How about going to see your pal, Astro? You can hold his hand.
Why don't you lay off him, Roger? Do you have to needle him every time you see him?
What's the matter? Can he take it?
He's taken enough, and too much from you.
All right, go on. Blast off.
You just keep your jets plugged.
Yeah. Everybody's getting so blasted sensitive around here.
Hey, Manning, where's Captain Strong?
Why, Mr. Astro, isn't your cabin comfortable? What are you doing here? Maybe you'd like the royal suite.
I asked you where Captain Strong is.
He went below. You must have just missed him.
Thanks.
What do you want him for, anyway? To cry on his shoulder?
I'll write you a letter.
Yeah? You know how to spell the word quitter?
Well, you crummy little space worm.
Careful, Astro. You're liable to black out again. But this time, it won't be from space fever.
I'll give you space fever, you...
Astro, Manning, break it up. Break it up, I said.
Sorry, sir. I started.
I don't care who started it. I won't tolerate fighting on my ship. Manning, I'm logging you for this. And as for you, Astro, if you don't take that chip off your shoulder, you'll be confined to quarters for the rest of the trip.
Yes, sir.
Now, pick up that intercom, Manning.
Yes, sir. Control deck, go ahead.
Roger, this is Tom. I've been taking readings of the sun with the infrared octant. And something funny is happening out there. I found a sunspot that must be at least 300,000 miles in diameter.
300,000 miles? You're space-happy, Tom.
Maybe I am. I'm not the astrogator you are, but my figures aren't that far off. Not only that, but the spot seems to be growing bigger all the time.
You'd better get up there and check that, Manning.
Okay, sir, but Corbett must be seeing spots in front of his eyes.
I hope so, because if he's right, we're running into serious trouble.
Radar bridge control deck. Corbett's figures checked. Also, have just received communication from Space Academy that the sunspot is sending shockwaves through the solar system. We're in for a space storm.
Attention all hands. Now hear this. We're on our way back to Marsport. Break out your spacesuits and magnetic traction boots and have them near you at all times. I want you to be prepared for any emergency.
Our gyro stabilizer's out.
Hang on. I'll try to control the ship manually. Oh, there. Yeah, that's better. Anyone hurt?
Okay, here, sir.
No damage topside, sir.
Harvey, are you all right?
Just a couple of bumps. That's all, sir.
Now listen, everybody. Our automatic pilot is out. We'll have to operate this ship manually. If the sunspots don't give us any further trouble, we'll manage.
I'll cut her down to half space speed, sir. We may ride easier that way.
It's a good idea, Tom. I'm going below to check the power plant. And tell Astro to come down to the control deck. He'll be safer here.
Aye, sir. Astro, check in. Astro, come in.
What are you blasting your jets about, Tom?
Oh, Astro, I was just trying to get a hold of you. Captain Strong wants you to stay down here.
Okay, so I'm here. Listen, Roger called me a quitter. Do you think I'm a quitter?
Of course not. But why do you want to resign from the academy?
Can't you see what it'd be like if I were grounded? Me nailed to a desk, lorded over by guys like Manning? Tom, I'm a spaceman.
Aren't you a little ahead of yourself, Astro? No one said you had space fever.
Oh, I'm no fool. I can see which way the wind is blowing. Look at this setup. We're in trouble. If the power plant goes before we can get back to Mars, we'll be helpless. But Captain Strong won't even let me get near it. I'm a passenger, just so much dead weight.
Control deck, go ahead.
We're in landing orbit to Marsport, Junior. Get ready.
Okay, Roger. I'll get the skipper up. Control deck to power deck.
Power deck, aye. Captain Strong here.
We're approaching Marsport, sir. Ready to land.
Okay, I'll be right up. Oh, hey, wait a minute. The lights are flickering.
And here, too, sir.
Well, I better stay down here. This power plant may go any minute.
Give me that intercom, Tom. Captain Strong, this is Astro. I can help Harvey on the power deck if you want me to.
No, Astro, stay where you are.
Very well.
Sir Corbett, can you handle the landing yourself?
I'm sure I can, sir.
Right, then. Don't spare the neutrons. We want to get down in a hurry.
Hey, Roger, come in. Give me our heading to...
Hold it a minute, Tom. I was just going to call you. Take a look through the viewport toward Ursa Minor. Get a load of what's coming at us.
Great galaxy. It looks like a space cyclone.
Cyclone in space? You're off your orbit, Tom.
It must be, Astro. That sunspot probably tore some solar atmosphere away. We've got to land before that cyclone hits us and blows us clear out of the universe.
rockets to start our descent, and I'm not braking the ship until we get to 10,000 feet. Corbett, it's up to you to hold us left.
Aye, aye, sir.
Stand by. We're going in.
Astro, sit here and give me altitude readings.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, right, Tom. Down to 150,000 feet. Look at that cyclone come on.
I don't see how it can miss us.
It isn't going to, fellas. Brace yourselves.
Wow, this is fierce. Are we dropping at all, Astro?
We're at 100,000 feet, but we're being blown way off course.
Roger, what's our position?
The only thing I can tell you is we're still over Mars, but who knows where?
75,000 feet. How in blazes can you hold the ship steady, Tom?
Believe me, Astro, it isn't easy. Take that, will you?
Right. Control that guy.
Hello, Corbett.
Well, this is Astro, sir.
Astro, what are you doing there?
Tom needed help.
Oh, well, all right. Tell him our power is like this. Just pray it'll last until we land. If our power goes and we can't fire our braking rocket...
Got it, sir. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
20,000 feet.
Hang on, Astro. Captain Strong, prepare to blast braking rockets.
15,000 feet. 14. 13. 12. 11.
Blast braking rockets full.
Braking rockets full. Start praying, boys.
I don't know where we're landing, sir. We can't see a thing.
It's too late to worry about that. Just hope we land right side up and on some solid ground.
Down to 1,000 feet. We aren't slowing up enough.
Attention, all stations. Brace for crash landing. Brace for crash landing.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by. Spaceman, do you have a complete collection of magic moving picture eyes? You know, you can get 16 different magic eyes altogether, each one jam-packed with exciting action. And say, if you get two of a kind, you can always trade them with your friends for the ones you don't have. Look for the magic eye that shows you Clyde Beatty, the famous animal trainer. And there's another magic eye with an action picture of a Douglas jet plane. Yes, get all 16 magic eyes. They make swell decorations for belts, hats, and jackets. And remember, you don't mail in for them. You don't even have to wait for them. You get a magic eye free at no extra cost in every package of Kellogg's Pep. That's just about the best bargain you ever had a chance at. A delicious whole wheat cereal with a tempting multi-rich flavor and a magic eye besides. Start your collection today. Get magic eye pictures of trains, planes, movie stars, and sports stars. You'll see them all on a magic eye. And just remember, you get another magic eye free at no extra cost in every package of Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep. When a gigantic sunspot sends powerful shock waves throughout the solar system, the rocket cruiser Polaris is caught in a space cyclone. Returning to Mars with its power plant failing fast and visibility zero, the spaceship crash lands somewhere on the surface of the red planet.
Astro, you're right.
I think so, Tom. At least I seem to be able to move everything.
Well, we've landed anyway, and we're still alive. Better see how the others made out.
Hey, the intercom is out.
I'm not surprised.
Roger, are you all right?
Sure, no thanks to you. I'll bet Harvey could have landed this crate better.
Well, it's easy to see you're all right.
Tom, Roger.
What are you so excited about, Harvey?
Captain Strong is hurt. He's pinned down by one of the reaction tanks, and I can't move it.
Well, come on, let's get down there.
All right, fellas, together now. Lift that. Captain Strong's unconscious. He needs medical care, and in a hurry.
Where are we, anyway? I'll go get a medic.
That's going to be real easy. We've landed smack in the middle of the Martian desert.
Well, here's the bad news, fellas. It'll take hours to get our communication system working. Not only that, our hull is sprung. We've lost our reaction mass, and we're completely without power.
That's great. We're nothing but a dead piece of space junk in the middle of the Martian desert.
If we only knew where those Martian oxygen booster plants are located in this desert, we could get help.
Yeah, but where are you going to look?
I'll go out and try to find one.
Well, thanks, Harvey. I'm afraid we'll all have to go and try it in different directions.
What about Captain Strong?
Astro will have to stay here with him.
Why me, Tom?
Well, that's the way Captain Strong would have wanted it. Besides, Astro, this is a big responsibility.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's get out of there, fellas. And keep your communicators open.
Don't worry, Astro, my boy. Even with space fever, you can always be a nurse.
Hello, Harvey. Check in. Any luck?
No, not a bit, Tom. There isn't a sign of anything but sand as far as I can see.
All right, keep looking. How about you, Roger? What have you to report?
What have I to report? I've swallowed about 2 tons of sand. I feel like a tropical beast.
Cut it, Rog. Any sign of help?
No, and if you ask me, this is the most space-happy thing we've done yet.
No one's asking you. Keep looking. Astro, come in. How's the skipper?
No change. He's in pretty bad shape.
Well, do what you can for him, Astro. We're going to move farther out into the desert.
Tom. Hey, Corbett, come in.
Yeah. What is it, Harvey?
This wind is too much for me. I can't see a thing.
I know, Harvey. I'm having the same trouble. How are you doing, Roger?
I'm on feet. This wind's blowing like 60, and it's hot as a furnace. Besides, I can't see. The sand's worse than the fog.
All right, I guess there's no use continuing now. We'll have to go back to the ship until this sandstorm blows over.
No sign of Roger, Tom. Astro and I have been watching for him at the airlock. Doesn't even answer us on the communicator.
Blast it. He's had more than enough time to get back to the Polaris.
I want me to go out and look for him?
No, you'll never find him in that sandstorm, Harvey. You'll only get lost yourself. Just stay with Astro at the entrance port and keep trying to contact him.
All right, Tom. Hey, how about Captain Strong? Will you stick with him?
Yes, he seems to be a little better now. Maybe he'll come out of it soon.
Well, I hope so. Hey, what in blazes? Tom, Astro's disappeared.
What?
He isn't here. He must have gone out to look for Roger.
Why, the space-happy idiot. He'll never find Roger. And we'll be lucky if we ever find him.
It's no use. Isn't even a footprint. Sand has covered everything.
They must be out here somewhere, Harvey. They couldn't have gotten very far. I'm going to keep looking until I find them.
Stick with you, Tom.
Well, come on. Spread out a little more.
The sand is hot.
Yeah.
It's tough walking up and down these dunes.
Yeah, it sure is. When I think... Oh,
Tom, be careful. You hurt yourself?
No, I just stepped in a soft spot. Hey, Harvey, come over here, quick. I found them. I found them! Captain Strong, it was sheer luck that I tripped over them. They were covered by at least a foot of sand.
You were no luckier than I was to find Roger, Tom. I guess I was the luckiest. I don't even remember what happened. I was trying to get back to the Polaris, and it was like bucking a wall of wind and sand. The next thing I knew, this Venusian ape was bending over me, and I thought I was having a nightmare.
Well, all I can say, Astro, for a fellow who's supposed to have space fever, you showed tremendous presence of mind and quick action. If it weren't for those oxygen masks and that cover, neither of you would be here now.
I've got the radio working, Captain Strong. I've contacted the oxygen booster station near here. They're sending over a first aid crew.
Thank you, Harvey. Well, we'll be getting back to Marsport soon, and then home to Space Academy.
Captain Strong, while I was under that blanket of sand with the wind howling over us and not knowing if I'd ever leave this Martian desert, I had plenty of time to think things over.
Yes, Astro?
Well, I've made up my mind that no matter what the doctors decide, I'll stay at the Academy.
Even if it means becoming an earthworm and flying at desk?
Yes, sir. Even that.
Well, after what you went through today, I'm pretty sure your examinations will prove that you never had space fever.
And, Astro.
Yeah, Roger?
I'm not good at saying these things, but... Oh, blast it, I'm sorry.
Oh, skip it, Raj.
Say, Astro, how did you find Roger, anyhow?
It was a cinch, Harvey. While I was wandering around on the desert, all of a sudden there was so much wind and hot air around me, I knew he had to be near.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Tuesday, when a nearly fatal explosion sends the crew of the Polaris rocketing through the void in search of a missing ship in the strange mystery of the Asteroid of Danger. Tune in, same time, same station on Tuesday for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast are Jan Merlin, Al Markham, Edward Bryce, and Jack Grimes. Today's program was written by Jack Weinstock and Willie Gilbert, directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Begg speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
And what a secret! In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the tasty raisins are dipped in honeycomb. That means plumper, more tender raisins, along with delicious golden crisp bran flakes. Both fruit and cereal, all in one box. And no other raisin bran but Kellogg's gives you the tender goodness of raisins dipped in honeycomb. That's Kellogg's secret. So for your breakfast, make sure you get Kellogg's, because
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
This program came to you from New York. America is sold on ABC, the American Broadcasting.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are 400 feet below the surface of the South Pacific, the heavy taste of chlorine gas souring your mouth, while somewhere up above you, searching through the night for you, is an enemy destroyer bent on sending the submarine and you to a murky death.
Listen now as Escape brings you Richard Cand Lee's exciting story, Pressure.
November 6, 1944. USS Amberfish, SS-593, departed Pearl Harbor for her assigned patrol area, the East China Sea. She carried 82 men and 24 torpedoes. She was commanded by Lieutenant Commander Daniel Hall. Her record was 0. This was her 4th war patrol. On the 32nd day of patrol at 1700 hours, Amberfish surfaced off the southern coast of Japan.
Fog. Wouldn't you know it, Mac? If the sea doesn't run heavy, we get fog. What can you find in this?
What's the old man got planned for tonight, Lieutenant?
Routine. Night surface routine. You think the last night on patrol we did...
Hold it.
Hiya, boys.
Captain?
Evening, sir.
That's a lousy night. What speed we making, Frank?
About 5 knots, sir. 1 and 2 main engines on battery charge. Number 4 on propulsion.
Position?
About halfway through Osumi Strait. Course 045. Radar has the coast of Kyushu ranged at approximately 15 miles on the port beam, picking up the usual fishing boats. Aside from that?
Yeah. No. Nothing. 32 days and nothing. 4 patrols and nothing.
Sir, may I suggest something?
Yeah, sure, Mac. What?
Well, last night on patrol, sir, maybe we could go after one of those fishing boats, take some prisoners for intelligence, and sink her by gunfire.
We got no orders for it.
I know that, sir, but...
It might do us all some good, Captain. End up the patrol. It's better than nothing.
I'm sorry, boys. We got no orders. That's it.
Yes, sir. Only we're all.
Only what?
Nothing, Captain. Nothing at all.
"32 days at sea, cramped living, and thoughts pass between men without being spoken. He knows what the torpedo, the executive officer, the whole crew think. Captain Hall, a book commander. Last night on patrol, and he still goes by the book. Gotta blame someone for an empty sea, for a tired ship, for bringing back a full load of torpedoes 4 times in a row. The captain stares at the fog and into his own thoughts. They need officers behind desks. That's where they'll put him after this patrol, a desk officer. Just a few more hours and he's headed for it.
Fog looks like it's thinning.
What? Oh, yeah. What's the time, Mac?
100, sir.
Bridge. This is the conning tower. Radar contact. This is Bridge. What's the bearing? 033. Captain.
Yeah.
It's just barely in range. It's funny looking. I don't think it's a fisherman this time.
This is Captain Radar. I'll be right there.
The scope's going crazy. Can't be.
Keep the bridge, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Mac.
Yes, sir. This I gotta see.
Okay, Johnson, what have you got?
Yes, sir, Captain. Now, there it is, sir. See? It's a tip, then it goes. Nothing.
The scope's going crazy.
Come left to course 033.
033, sir.
All stop.
All stop, sir.
All right, Mac, what do you hear on the bearing?
Nothing, sir. Not a thing.
Tip's gone. Nothing on the scope either.
Must be the radar, Captain. Must be with our luck.
Luck can change. Steady on course 033.
033.
All ahead full.
All ahead full, sir.
You never can tell. There have been false alarms before. The procedure is standard, by the book. Maybe one last chance to break the dull, leaden monotony that smothers the boat. In the forward battery, the crew's quarters, another rumor.
Hey, we picked up speed. Really moving.
Relax, Bergen. I think they got something on the radar again. Cards to the players. Come on, you guys. I got a wife to support.
5, 10, 15 minutes. All ahead full. The little flurry in the conning tower begins to settle. And then...
Captain?
There it is, sir. We've got it now, sir. We've got it.
Yeah. Man tracking station.
Just one pip, but it's a big one. I don't believe it.
The men run. There's excitement. No feeling of obedient drill. Even the engines sound different. In the green eye of the radar, the spot grows stronger and holds. A chance, one last glimmering chance for the captain to show he's not a book, to keep his job. Out there in the night, there's something big and fast.
Three smaller ships now, Captain. One big ship and 3 escorts. Zigzagging.
Still a long way off. Bridge.
Yes, sir.
You see anything, Frank?
Not yet. Fog's gone, but it's black as pitch. Can we come up to him?
We'll come up to him. Just keep your eyes open. Maneuvering. Tell those motor Macs back there to give it everything. All ahead flank.
Maneuvering. Make all speed.
All ahead flank, sir.
What do you think we got, Captain?
We haven't got him yet.
One ship, 3 escorts. Must be worth something to the chaps.
The moon's coming out. We're getting the moon. Got something on sound, sir. Heavy screws bearing 041.
Frank, got him on sound now. Can you see?
I think so, Captain. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I can just about see him. Bearing 040.
That's him. Oh, what do we got, Frank? What is he?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold it. Aircraft carrier coming right down the groove.
Battle stations, torpedo, make ready. All tubes and stand by.
All tubes ready, sir. Standing by.
Another Zig, Captain. It's coming right at us.
What's the range now?
8,000 yards, sir. Closing fast.
Light screws on sound. Destroyer 6,000 yards. He's echo range, sir.
Okay, Harris. Bridge, what about those escorts?
Moving around, Captain. Looks like they know their stuff. Take it down any time.
Keep your eye on them, Frank. We're going to stay up. On the firing bearing now.
You mean on the surface for the whole attack?
They're looking for something submerged. Just keep those side bearings coming. We'll stay up as long as we can.
Okay, Captain, it's your party. Barry? Mark.
041.
Range. Mark.
7500 yards.
Set. He's right on, Captain.
How much time?
None, sir. Firing point in 15 seconds. All set. Ready to shoot.
Another destroyer, sir. Light screws, high speed. Running this way.
Ah, a destroyer coming right at us.
Stand by forward. Bridge.
Destroyer.
I heard you. Shooting observation. Come on, give it to me.
Break off, Captain. Dive. He's turned down his lights.
Give me the carrier's bearing.
Bearing. Mark.
All right, Frank. Clear the bridge. Get out here.
049.
Set.
Fire. Dive, dive, dive.
Hold dive.
Left full rudder. All ahead emergency. Take her down to 200 feet.
All ahead emergency, sir.
Rig for depth charge. Rig for silent running.
Destroyer had us cold, Captain. 600 yards. Won't have any trouble finding us now.
Destroyer close aboard 050.
Forget the destroyer. Sound, get on that carrier. Listen for those torpedoes to hit.
That's him. There he comes.
Mac, what's the time on the torpedo run?
70 seconds. Hit any second now.
Down 40 feet. Come on, get under, get under.
75 seconds.
Should be a hit.
80.
He's trying to ram. Hang on. Missed us. He missed.
Harris, did you hear a hit? Did you hear anything?
No, sir. I don't know. The destroyer, I didn't hear anything.
Missed. Yeah, we missed.
Down 70 feet.
All right, Sound, get on the destroyer. We're playing target now.
Feet, Captain. Leveling off.
How far to the bottom?
Another 100. Not so hot.
Echo ranging, sir.
Hasn't got us yet. Just poking around.
He's slowing down. Turning toward us now. Screws speeding up. Shifting short scale. He's got a contact. Here he comes. Coming on range. He's on us. He's dropped his charges.
3, 4.
All right, boys. Hang
5,
on.
6, 7,
Hang on now.
8.
Hang on.
9. 10.
All right, emergency light. Turn on that ladder. Can somebody help me with Harris?
Turn down the volume. Went right through my head. I can't hear.
Jensen, get Harris out of here. Get him to his bunk. Find the pharmacist, mate. Keep him quiet, Jensen.
Those charges were right on. Like he looked right down the stars.
Yeah. Well, I guess we ran into an expert. Bergen, check all compartments, report all damage.
Yes, sir.
Mac, get somebody on sound.
I'll do it, sir.
We're in for it, huh, Captain?
Yeah. Just hope she stays together.
A beating. And for nothing. The captain tried. He had his chance. Check through the boat and pray none of the damage is beyond small, quiet repairs. Small and particularly quiet.
After bilges flooding, hull dished in but holding.
It's the captain's command because they thought he knew his job. They let him go to sea 4 times with $7 million and the lives of 82 men.
Number 1 and 2 air banks emptied. Diving planes damaged. Losing depth control.
He listens to the damage. Nothing fatal yet. But it isn't over. There's an expert up there. And he's got all the time in the world. And he's going to take it.
We will return to Escape in just a moment. But first, tomorrow night on Lux Radio Theater, Paul Douglas recreates his original screen role in an adaptation of the film play 14 Hours. Terry Moore co-stars. Also tomorrow night, Agnes Moorehead stars in Suspense's thrilling production of Charles Dickens' eerie tale, The Signal Man. Remember, on Lux Radio Theater, Paul Douglas in 14 Hours. On Suspense, Agnes Moorehead in The Signal Man. Both tomorrow night at the Star's address. And now, back to Escape.
Captain waits, and listens in silence. All operations are done by hand now. No pumps, no motors. All necessary movement by silent hands. No air conditioning, no fans, and the temperature climbs to 125 degrees. The boat slants at an odd angle. A bucket brigade bails endlessly from a flooding bilge, empties it forward, hoping to level the boat. A working party tries to repair the damaged diving planes.
Okay. Once more now. Slack off. Rest.
Oh, you get back.
How's it coming, Mendoza?
I can't tell, sir. She's jammed good. Might be able to do something. Bust her boy up there.
Well, do the best you can.
Sir, are you walking back to the conning tower?
Yeah. I'm on a goodwill tour.
Fine, sir, but would you mind taking your shoes off? Make a terrible noise.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry.
Silence. Silence means life. Captain Hall walks the ship silently. The men smile weakly as he passes, but underneath he knows what they think. How much longer, Captain? How much more do we have to take? Captain is the brains. He knows. He should know.
Captain, we're going to get out of this, ain't we?
Yeah, Jensen, we'll get out of it. Just sit tight.
Captain Hull makes the goodwill tour. Then back to the conning tower to wait in the silent heat and sweat. The ship sweats, too. Thick, heavy humidity condensing on every possible surface. Like the steel was porous. Like the sea squeezing in. He's seen the men. He led them into this surface attack on the carrier. Be fast, get in close, and make sure. But it didn't work. Now, work hard to breathe the same foul air they breathed 4, 6, 10 hours ago. He led them into this, and for nothing.
Turning this way. Here he comes again. Not anymore. Not anymore.
It must be leaking oil. That's what gives him the spot.
The bottom. 300 feet. Not so bad. Could have been 4. It's the oil. That's what he sees. That's all he needs.
We're not leaking oil.
He's got us perfect. He must see something.
That's enough. I said we're not leaking oil.
Captain,
What, Jensen?
can we get off the bottom, sir?
Sure. When they get the diving planes in shape, and when our friend clears the area, we'll get up.
Yeah, sure, we'll get up. Jensen, you want something to do? Take over the sound watch.
Yes, sir.
Hot. It's getting awful hot. How many depth charges do you think that Jap's got?
Too many, sir. Just too many. Light screws. They're fading. He's going way off.
Gonna get a good run at it. Maybe he thinks he scored a bullseye.
He's too good to make that kind of mistake.
Thanks. You're a big help.
Go on. Get your salt. It's too hard to argue.
Captain, maybe... Does he think he got us?
Jensen, can you still hear him?
Just barely, sir. Just barely. It's gone now, sir. I can't hear him.
Captain?
Yeah, he's smart. Lie out there and wait. See if we move. That's the way we got to look at it. There's one thing he doesn't know. We got to wait anyway. All right, settle down. You're all right.
He's thinking someone should open the window. It smells terrible in there.
Shut him up. Shut him up.
It's all right. I'm all right.
You better go to your bunk.
No, sir. I'm all right. I like it here. I wouldn't know what was going on in my bunk.
14 hours. 14 hours and the destroyer's still up there. Only he can't be heard now. But there's a sense, a feel to it, like an animal in the night that isn't seen. He's sunk subs before and knows how long a sub can hold out. The physical things, battery power, air, life is gauged on those. But the men, the captain tells himself that he can hold out as long as necessary, but the men can take just so much. Which is worse, a depth charge attack or waiting for the next one.
Captain.
Yeah, Mendoza.
Diving plane working party just about completed repair.
Oh, what about it?
Waiting for an answer, sir. Chief of the party requests permission for one smack with a 10-pound sledge.
No. What? Is he crazy? You could hear that through the water for 10 miles.
Chief says one good smack would free the plane, sir.
Sound. Hear anything?
Fish, sir. Just fish out there.
Captain, maybe he has gone.
If the plane's working, sir, we'd be our own boss again.
Frank?
You're the captain, sir. What's the difference?
Don't let him, Captain. He'll hear it. I know he'll hear it.
Sound, make a full sweep.
Nothing, sir. Nothing at all.
Okay, Mendoza, permission granted. One smack.
Thank you, sir. Diving plane party. Permission granted. One smack. Make it good. Acknowledge, sir. Stand by.
I can hear that all the way to Tokyo.
Echo ranging.
I told you!
Shut up!
I'm coming again! I'm gonna get him!
Shut him up! Drop him! Sit on him!
He's turning. Coming at us. He's dropping the way to starboard.
He didn't get the range. He's not sure.
He's turned away, sir. Going away at high speed.
He lost us, Captain. He lost us.
Mendoza, report from that damage party.
Reporting now, sir. Our planes work, sir. It's a jury rig, but they work.
Captain, you think we could try to get out of here?
Let's do it, Captain. We got the battery, but not much longer.
If we can get up there, sir, even if he's still there. We got torpedoes. It's better than being blown apart down here.
All right. Battle station surface, make ready all tubes and stand by. Surface, surface, surface!
30 feet. Leveling off.
Up periscope. Stand by, looking around. The sun's just setting. Full sweep. Surface, stand by, all tubes ready on all 4 engines.
Hatch is clear.
All right, open her up. Let's get some air.
Smell. Smell that. Oh, boy.
Open the main induction. Start the blowers.
Can't see anything. We're clear.
Nothing to port. Wait a minute.
What?
Look at the sea, Captain. Out there.
Oil.
Oil as far as you can see. Debris.
Take a big ship to put out that much junk, Frank.
You see it, Captain? That's why that baby gave us such a working over. You know what it means?
Yeah, I see it.
That's why the escort broke off attack. Probably went back to pick up survivors. Well, what do you know?
Conning tower, pass the word. We got the carrier. Right full rudder. Set a course for home.
The course is due east. To the captain, the air smells fresh and sweet. Home with 82 men. 18 torpedoes left out of 24. But a captain who sinks a carrier doesn't have to worry about a desk job anymore. December 16, 1944. USS Amberfish, SS-593, completed her 4th war patrol. After experiencing severe depth charging from enemy forces, she surfaced and confirmed sinking of large aircraft carrier. Then set course for Pearl Harbor.
Under the direction of Anthony Ellis, Escape has brought you Pressure by Richard Chandlee, starring William Conrad as the captain, with Larry Thor as the narrator. Featured in the cast were Bob Sweeney, Hy Averback, Herb Ellis, Jerry Hausner, Frank Gerstle, Kurt Martell, and Eddie Firestone. Sound effects were by Gus Bays, Ralph Cummings, and Jack Sixsmith. The special music for Escape is composed and directed by Leith Stevens. Next week...
You are seated before the dials of your radio receiver, listening to a faint voice from the blackness beyond, while the one who speaks with words of friendship is debating the destruction of your world.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Michael Gray's exciting story, The Invasion. You want pleasure in the daytime? Here are two things to do about it. For one, join Arthur Godfrey Monday through Friday. For another, you're welcome to CBS Radio's House Party starring Art Linkletter. Yes, Arthur Godfrey Time and Art Linkletter's House Party every weekday on CBS Radio. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Remember, America's 45 million families listen most to the CBS Radio Network.
Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk. And those famous Nestle's chocolate bars present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are locked in an airtight chamber on Neptune's third moon by a criminal trying to force them to reveal Space Patrol's secrets.
Rorschach must be crazy. Just locking us up in here isn't going to make us talk.
Listen. Hear that?
Oh, yes, sir. Sounds like some sort of a pump.
You notice anything about the air in here?
Now that you mention it, it's sort of hard to breathe.
They're pumping the air out of the chamber.
We've only got two choices. Press the alarm button or suffocate.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Red Demon of Venus.
Say, Space Patrollers, this is Cadet Happy. If you're like me, you never get enough Nestle's chocolate. Man, that's such sensational, smooth, rich, delicious chocolate. Every bite tastes like more. And you know, there's a way to buy them so you always have more. That's the family pack. 6 Nestle's chocolate bars packed together in a swell carton. Tell Mom she'll find them at grocery stores and supermarkets. And they're real money savers, too. There's another way to make sure you have plenty of Nestle bars. That's to buy them big. You can get a 10-cent bar, or bigger still, an economy bar, and bigger yet, a tremendous king-size bar. That's the one I like best because it's so thick. Now, the 10-cent economy and king-size bars, as well as those neat family packs, come in all 3 of Nestle's terrific flavors. Smooth, creamy milk chocolate in the red and white wrappers, milk chocolate with toasty almonds in the blue and white wrap, and, of course, that crispy, crunchy, wonderful crunch bar in the red and blue wrap. Whichever you like best, treat yourself to Nestle's in a great big way. I'm sure you'll say just what I do. The more Nestle's, the merrier. And always remember, Nestles, Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. Ooh, what a voice.
And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Red Demon of Venus. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have landed the Terra 5 on high ground at the center of a small island in the Venus marshes. They're searching for Nelson Tanagru, a Space Patrol secret agent who's not been heard from for 3 days. Right now, Buzz and Happy make their way through the thick vegetation toward the eastern shore of the island to locate the tiny shack Tanagru has been using as a base of operations.
Maybe that gang Tanagru was after located him before he got them.
It's something pretty serious, or we'd have heard from him. He's got a spaceophone.
I think I see the shack.
That's it. Come on.
Look at rockets. It's almost underwater.
Flood hit worse here than it did at the settlement.
You don't think Tanagru got trapped in the shack?
Tanagru! Tanagru, are you there? This is Commander Corey. Tanagru!
Oh. It came from back there in the brush, to the right.
Must be Tanagru. Tanagru!
Here, Commander.
Let's go half. There he is in the clearing. Tanagru.
Thought I was finished, and then I heard your voice.
Don't try to get up. Just take it easy. What happened? Did that smuggling gang get you?
No, nothing that dramatic. Spider bite. Got me in the hand.
Oh, it's sure swollen.
I'll get you to the ship right away. What kind of a spider was it?
It's lying over there by that rock. As you see, I won.
Oh, it sure was a big one. And as red as a rocket blast.
Yeah. Jumped on me from the tree limb. Thought it was a ball of fire. Felt like it, too.
When did this happen?
Early this morning. Right after I killed a spider, I blacked out for a while. I don't feel so bad now, except that I can't move.
I don't want to frighten you, Tanagru, but do you know what kind of spider that is?
I thought I knew everything that crawled or flew in these marshes, but it's a new one on me.
The spider's called the red demon of Venus. It's extremely poisonous. Naturalists have thought it was extinct.
Well, at least that one is.
Tanagru, we've got to get you to Venus City Hospital right away. Give me a hand, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Wait. I may black out again. Let me tell you what I found out about that gang. They've been operating out of the settlement.
That can wait.
Now, please, Commander. I'll feel better if you let me fill you in.
All right, but just the high points.
Some of the names and a map of where they hide their loot are in a notebook in my jacket pocket.
I'll get it later.
I think they're on to me. I got in a jet boat and pulled away from the wharf at the settlement last night. So one of the gang watching me.
They didn't follow you here to the island, then?
No. When I got back here, I found the shack flooded. Couldn't use a space phone. Sunk the boat and get at it again. And hid here in the clearing.
So if they came here to the island, they'd see the shack was submerged and figure you'd gone.
Yeah. I was at the settlement for 3 days. Didn't dare use the space phone there. Don't tell them who might be spying for the gang.
All right, Tanagru. I think we'd better get you to the ship. Easy now, Happy.
With Tanagru made as comfortable as possible in an aft compartment, Buzz and Happy blast off for Venus City. Buzz loses no time in contacting the hospital by spaceophone. He's now waiting for a reply as Happy returns to the control compartment.
Tanagru is still conscious, Commander, but he doesn't look too good. Heard from Dr. Bryce yet, sir?
Not since that first call.
Sure wish there was something we could do.
Dr. Bryce says anything we might do now might hinder the regular treatment.
Venus City Hospital calling Commander Corey aboard the Terra 5. Dr. Bryce to Commander Corey.
Corey here. Go ahead, Doctor.
I have some very bad news, Commander. A single drop of serum here at the hospital.
And contact some other hospitals. Try Terra or Mars.
I'll try, but I'm sure they haven't any. You see, the red demon spider is found only here on Venus. There have been no cases reported for over 5 years. Our records show that the last of our supply of serum was discarded 18 months ago.
Discarded?
Yes, it becomes ineffective after a certain length of time.
Dr. Bryce, you told me that Tanagru must have treatment within a few hours or the bite will be fatal.
That's true, unfortunately.
Then what are we going to do?
Well, there is one alternative.
What is it?
We can obtain a blood donation from another victim of that type of spider and inject that blood into Tanagru's veins.
Do you know where we can find such a person?
Our records show that a patient named Theodore Rorschach was successfully treated here 5 years ago.
Where is he now?
I don't know, but I've already ordered a checkmate.
Doctor, how much time have we got?
I can't say. In some cases, the bites prove fatal within a few minutes. In rare instances, well, the longest was 18 hours.
Nearly a third of the time's gone already. Doctor, keep trying to locate Rorschach. I'll contact Space Patrol headquarters in Terra and get master locator control on the job. Corey out.
Well, it sure doesn't look good, does it, sir?
If Theodore Rorschach is alive, we'll find him. I'll give locator control a AAA priority order and put out an all-planets alert. After that's taken care of, you take the controls till we reach Venus City. I'll be back with Tanagru. Just take it easy, Tanagru. We'll be landing in Venus City in a few minutes.
Never thought a spider might put me on my back, Commander.
That took a red demon to do it.
Yeah. Say, have you had a chance to go over my notebook?
Yes. Done a great job. The information you've gathered, we can close in on those clues right away.
Well, except here.
Couldn't get a line on who he is. Keeps in the background. When we pull in the gang, we'll make him talk. I've got a favor to ask. When you round them up, I want to be in on it.
Well, that's going to be up to the doctor. And if he says okay, you can bet we'll be there when you pull him in.
Excuse me, Commander.
Yes, Happy.
You asked me to tell you when we were 3 minutes from Venus City.
Yes, Happy. Thanks. I'll take over. Bedtime, girl. Take it easy.
Sure. You bet, Commander.
I told you to handle this. Something wrong?
Yes, sir. I didn't think I should tell you in front of Tannegy. A report just came in from Terra headquarters on Rorschach.
Where is he?
They don't know. The last information on him is a year old. Rorschach is wanted. He's a criminal. And he's hiding out. Poor Tannegy. Looks like it's all over with him.
You've got to find Rorschach and find him quick.
Well, gee, sir, the Mercury headquarters hasn't found him in a year. What chance have we got with just a few hours to go?
Get on the controls, Hap. We're at Spaceophone Venus City headquarters. When we land, I want an interplanet relay set up for an emergency message.
Meantime, millions of DUs away in Neptune City, 2 men sit before a spaceophone receiver. As the sweep second hand of a clock swings upward, both men grow tense. And one grips his companion's arm.
I tell you, Rorschach, it's been on every 15 minutes. Commander Corey himself. Microtape, of course. And on all the main channels. It's a trap. I know it is.
Calm down, Glacier. No use getting excited.
It scared the daylights out of me when I first heard it. I expected any minute to hear the Space Patrol right outside that door.
Number 97. All planets alert. Attention, all Space Patrol units and all citizens of the United Planets. This is a AAA priority bulletin. Please listen carefully. This is your Space Patrol Commander-in-Chief, Buzz Corey.
What did I tell you, Rorschach? Shut up.
I'm addressing every man, woman, and child in the solar system. In particular, I'm addressing Theodore Rorschach.
See?
5 years ago, you were bitten by a poisonous spider, a red demon of Venus. Your life was saved. Now, Theodore Rorschach, you have the power to save a life as yours was saved. A few drops of your blood, that's all that stands between life and death for a fellow human being.
He's breaking my heart.
I don't ask you to turn yourself in. You are guaranteed immunity from arrest while you perform this generous act. Go to any doctor in the solar system, any medical organization, public or private. You will then be given 48 hours of further immunity. You will not be followed. You will not be traced by man or instrument of any kind during that period. You risk nothing, Rorschach. You can save a life. Contact any doctor or any Space Patrol unit, but act now. Every second is urgent. This is Buzz Corey.
Cut it out, Glacier.
It's a trick. It has to be.
Maybe. But I doubt it. Corey doesn't work that way.
Rorschach, you aren't thinking of playing Corey's game.
Yes, Glacier, I am. It's Corey's game. But the cards are mine, and it's my deal. Contact Commander Corey right now.
A few moments later, at the Venus City headquarters of the Space Patrol, Communications Center switches an emergency spaceophone call to Buzz Corey's temporary office. The commander listens skeptically but intently as an anonymous voice dictates a bold demand.
Rorschach's terms, Commander. What's your answer?
How do I know you're actually representing Rorschach?
You don't. But for that matter, how do you know I'm not Rorschach?
All right, let's not argue that. Why does Rorschach insist that I meet him personally out in space? It would save precious time if Rorschach came directly here to Venus. Any Space Patrol ship or commercial space line will bring him here and return him to any point in the solar system.
Look, Commander, you meet Rorschach in space in the orbit of Neptune's second moon, or not at all. Come, Corey, a man's life is at stake, remember?
All right, I accept Rorschach's terms. Give me the space coordinates, and I'll blast off immediately.
Swiftly, the precious hours fly by, and Buzz and Happy hurtle toward the distant rendezvous point, with the Terra 5 accelerating at a rate barely under the threshold of physical and mental endurance. Finally, as they near the orbit of Neptune's second moon, the scanning beam of the viewscope fixes upon a small object in free fall.
It's a private cruiser, Class C, Commander, and according to the vector computer, it's right at the rendezvous point.
I'll cut acceleration.
It's a relief.
Now, let's see if we can contact that cruiser. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5, holding private cruiser in Sector 4, orbit of Neptune moon number 2. Space Patrol battle cruiser Terra 5. Commander Corey here. Acknowledge.
Private cruiser N208, Commander Corey. This is Theodore Rorschach. You made good time.
You'll need every second of it. When we join airlocks, be ready to come aboard.
Just a minute. You come aboard my ship.
All right, it doesn't matter.
And one more thing. I'm not to be followed or traced for 48 hours. Does that promise still hold?
Yes, I give you my word. In less than 3 minutes after I come aboard, you can be on your way. A man's life is in danger, Rorschach. Let's not waste any more time.
All right, Commander. Join airlocks. 4 shot out.
The nerve of that guy giving you orders.
That's just me. Have it, Will. Stand by to join airlocks.
A A few moments later, the Terra 5 was joined to the cruiser by the magnetic coupler. Taking the medical kit, Buzz and Happy passed through the airlocks into Rorschach's ship.
Welcome aboard, Commander.
You're Theodore Rorschach, is that right?
Right.
Strickland fits. You'll know for sure when we run a test of your blood sample. Roll up the right sleeve.
Sure. Mind telling me who's raiding all this fuss over a spider bite? Is it the Secretary General?
It's a Space Patrol agent. He'd make the same effort to save anybody's life, even yours. All right, Hap, take over.
Give me your arm, Rorschach. Now, don't worry. This isn't going to hurt at all.
Just you two are handling the whole thing, eh? Nobody else is in your ship?
We wanted to save time by bringing Tanagru along. But he's too ill to move.
Now, hold still, Rorschach. This will all be over in 5 seconds.
It's all over right now. Get your hands up, both of you.
Hey, what's going on?
Don't move, Cadet, or I'll drop you with a ray gun.
What's the idea, Rorschach?
Keep him covered, Glazer. The idea is this, Commander. You got a lot of information that can be of use to me. Space Patrol codes, methods of operation, cases under investigation, and stuff like that.
You think I'm going to tell you anything?
You better. You expect to get back to Venus in time. Keep talking for a couple of hours, and we'll let you go.
There isn't time. Can't you understand? No use talking to you.
I told him not to move.
How's that, Rorschach? 1, 2, just like that.
Cut this ship loose from the Terra 5 and blast off. When Corey comes to, we'll have plenty of time to make him talk.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, Space Patrollers, how are you at magic? You like to astonish your friends and family with real neat tricks? Well, here's a great one for you. And so simple, I can teach you how to do it in just about 1 minute. Here's what you do. Pour out a big, frosty cold glass of milk. Now just drop in 2 spoonfuls of Nestle's Quick. Twirl your spoon in the glass and presto, like magic, you have the richest, most delicious chocolate milk ever made. Yes, sir, it's real magic because Nestle's Quick makes itself. Yes, sir, it's the only chocolate milk that needs no beating, no shaking. It's the only one that mixes instantly and completely and stays mixed until you've drunk up the very last drop. And believe me, gang, it's the only one that gives you sensational, rich flavor, just like Nestle's chocolate bars. And boy, does that taste like a million. And say, here's another part to this trick. Yes, sir, you can make Quick disappear just like that. You want to know how that's done? Easy. Once you taste the cosmic flavor of Nestle's Quick, you'll drink it down so fast, it'll actually vanish before your eyes. Now, wouldn't you like to be a magician and have this sensational chocolate milk for your meals and snacks? Well, all you have to do is remember that Nestle's Quick does the trick. That's Q-U-I-K, Quick. It comes in the big brown and yellow can, and it's magic. So ask Mom to bring home some today. And save the special premium panel from the side of the Quick label. It's going to come in handy real soon. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Red Demon of Venus. Rendering Buzz and Happy unconscious with a ray gun, Rorschach and his accomplice, Glazer, pulled their space cruiser away from the Terra 5 and blasted off into space. Feeling secure that Commander Corey has already given Space Patrol units orders not to try to trace Rorschach for 48 hours, the true criminals have taken Buzz and Happy to a hideout on Neptune's third moon. Right now, Rorschach stands over them as the Space Patrollers regain consciousness.
Now listen, you're where no one will find you. You're on Neptune's third moon.
Rorschach, listen to me. There's a man on Venus with only a few hours to live.
Shut up! He's a Space Patrol agent. I don't care whether he lives or not. But if you care, you better talk. Glazer! Yeah. Come here. Let's get to work.
Oh, they've come around, huh?
Now get this, Corey. Your only chance to save this pal of yours is to start talking. Give us the Space Patrol codes and all that other stuff I mentioned. Come on, give.
If you keep us here, one man loses his life. Tanagru. If we reveal Space Patrol secrets, we'd use them to destroy many innocent people.
So you wouldn't talk to save Tanagru, eh?
No, even if we did talk, you wouldn't keep your promise.
The study. We'll put them in the study.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Open the door, Glazer. All right, you two, get moving.
Go on inside.
When you decide to be reasonable, and I'm sure you will, you'll find an alarm button near the door. Just press it and we'll let you out.
Now, get in.
So this is the study. It looks harmless enough to me, just a bare room.
Yes, lined with metal. Walls, ceiling, and floor.
Oh, this must be the alarm button Rorschach mentioned. I wonder what's supposed to happen to make us talk. Oh, I know. Keeping us here without food or water.
Maybe, but that's a slow method. Rorschach knows he's got less than 48 hours before the Space Patrol starts searching for us.
Sure, but nobody knows we're on the third moon of Neptune.
No, but when the search begins, it'll start from our ship. Unless Rorschach destroys it, it's still in free fall around the number 2 moon. The Space Patrol will search all the moons, probably with special attention to number 3.
Why, sir?
It's the only Neptune moon with atmosphere. Hear that?
Yes, sir. Sounds like some sort of a pump.
Notice anything about the air in here?
Now that you mention it, it's sort of hard to breathe.
They're pumping the air out of the chamber. They're making a vacuum in here.
We've only got 2 choices. Press the alarm button or suffocate.
We don't intend to do either one.
Yeah, we can't break out.
No. Perhaps let's see if we can find the outlet valve, the place where the air is being drawn out of here. Yeah, there won't be long now, Rorschach. You'll be ringing that alarm bell pretty quick.
Sure. I don't care how brave a man is. When he can't breathe, he gets panicky. He'd give anything for one lungful of air.
I wonder why they don't ring the bell. Maybe I better step up the pump.
Yeah.
Rorschach, look at the gauge.
Hey, it's nearly to 0.
No one could live in that chamber.
Why, the fools, the stubborn, stupid fools.
Maybe the alarm didn't work.
Glazer, shut off that pump. Shut it off, quick.
Sure.
Now, let's open the chamber. They still may be alive. Hurry up, Glazer. Get the door open. We got to revive them and make them talk.
There, I've got it.
Now, in there, and drag them out. Hurry.
Got them, Happy?
Yes, sir.
Wow. If Glazer hadn't dropped with that last punch, I'd have folded.
Rorschach took the last I had.
That air sure feels good. Oh, my lungs are burning.
Rorschach must have a spacephone here. We've got to win back and notify Venus City Hospital.
Hey, Commander, Glazer's coming too.
Watch him.
Yes, sir.
You guys aren't human. It was almost a vacuum in here.
Oh, not quite. We found the outlet vent and stopped it up with my belt. The vacuum was just in the pipe, not in the chamber.
Hey, Commander, there goes Rorschach out the door. I'll go after him. Keep an eye on Glazer.
Better yet.
Okay, that'll hold him. Come on, Hap.
There he goes. He's heading for that shed.
They have weapons in there. We've got to catch him.
He's inside.
Try the door.
Oh, he locked it.
It's a rickety-looking door. One kick ought to break it. Come on. All right, Rorschach. Where are you?
Must be hiding behind one of these stacks of cases.
We'll find him. Come on out, Rorschach.
You're just making things tougher on yourself.
Now, watch your step. Thanks, Rorschach.
Yes, sir.
Wait. You stay here. I'll go behind those cases. If he makes a run for it, nail him.
Right.
Better hold it, Commander.
There he is.
Don't come any closer, I'm warning you. I'll blow you to bits.
Quit bluffing, Rorschach.
I'm not bluffing. You know what this is in my hand? I'll tell you. It's a mining bomb. By turning this dial, I can set it to go off in 30 seconds. Or as little as 5 seconds.
Don't fool around with that. Are you crazy?
Not in the least. Now, don't worry. I won't press the timer button unless you force me to. Careful, Commander. One more step and I'll lower the regulator to 5 seconds and press the timer. Now, I intend to walk out of here holding the bomb, of course, and get into my spaceship. And stay right where you are if you want to live.
Gee, Commander, it isn't even a case of us or him. It's us and him.
Yeah, the cadet is right, Corey. You won't gain a thing if you try to stop me.
All right, Rorschach. But there'll be another time.
I'll take my chances on that. Goodbye, gentlemen. The
floor gave away.
Get him quick, Hap. All right, Rorschach, get up.
I can't. I'm cut. My leg's cut.
Well, just take it easy. We'll pull you out.
What happened to the bomb? Where is it?
I dropped it through the hole in the floor when the plane gave away.
Listen. There's something down there, under the flooring.
It's the bomb. I must have pressed the timer when I fell.
Smoking rockets, we've got to get out of here in a few seconds.
Don't leave me here. Please don't leave me here. Get me out.
Happy, grab his other arm and pull.
Yes, sir. Oh, he's really stuck.
Once more, Hap. Yeah, that does it. Get him out of here. Hurry. Head for that ditch, Hap.
Yes, sir. Come on, Rorschach.
Hit the dirt.
Wow. We made it.
You're okay, Rorschach. Get your face out of the dirt.
Look where the shed was. There's nothing but a big hole.
All right, Hap, get Glazer. We're blasting off for Venus.
With their captives aboard Rorschach's private cruiser, Buzz and Happy blast off from Neptune's third moon and chart a vector for Venus. After making sure Rorschach and Glazer are securely bound in the compartment amidship, Happy goes forward to the control section where Buzz is completing a spaceophone call.
Very good, Major. Proceed as directed. Corey out.
Contacted Venus yet, Commander?
Yes. Space Patrol headquarters at Venus City is going to have Dr. Bryce call me.
Gee, sure, a slow old trait. We'll never get to Venus at this rate.
I've got news for you, Hap. The Neptune Patrol Unit recovered Terra 5 from free fall. We'll meet it at the Neptune orbit and transfer aboard.
Oh, great. But even at that, we'll never make that 18-hour deadline.
Dr. Bryce at Venus City Hospital calling Commander Corey aboard private cruiser N208.
Commander Corey here. How's Tanagru?
He's still alive, Commander, but he's steadily growing weaker.
Doctor, how much time?
Frankly, I can't say. If it wasn't for Tanagru's rugged constitution and will to live, well, it would have all been over hours ago.
He's got to hang on. He's got to. Doctor, do anything you can.
I'm sorry, Commander, but there's nothing more we can do until you get here with Rorschach.
All right, Doctor. You'll make it. Corey out.
Even aboard the far swifter Terra 5, the voyage to Venus seems endless. At last, the ship roars through the space lock of the Venus City spaceport. Then, at the hospital, comes the most agonizing eternity of all for Buzz and Happy. There is nothing to do but wait. Finally, the door opens. And a moment later, they stand looking down at a pale, exhausted man.
Sure good to see you, Commander. Cadet.
You're looking fine, Tanagru.
Yes, Tanagru. Dr. Bryce says you'll be up and around in a day or so.
You bet. And I'm going to help you round up the leader of that Venus gang.
Well, I'm afraid that's all.
Commander, you promised.
I know. You've already got the big shot.
You have? I suppose I ought to be glad.
I sure wanted to have a hand.
Well, you did. The hand that was bitten by the spider.
What?
Well, that means that if you hadn't been bitten, we never would have started searching for another victim of the Red Demon of Venus. We'd never have found Rorschach.
You mean Rorschach?
Yep, he's the head man. We found evidence on his spaceship.
And he's confessed. He told us he was in the Venus marshes 5 years ago setting up the gang, and the spider got him.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure brought to you by Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Ever take a taste test, Space Patrollers? Well, man, oh, man, it sure is fun when it's Chex your taste testing. How do I know? Well, I just took one. First, I tested them with sugar and cream. Super keen taste. Then I added fruit. Super neat taste. Next, I tried them right out of the red and white checkerboard package. That was the snack test. And Chex, rice or wheat for snacks just can't be beat. Yes, sir, gang, I rate Chex tops for taste. And you'll rate them tops, too. Next, I tried them for size. Bite size is the just right size. Just right for your spoon, just right for delicious, easy eating. Chex, rice or wheat tops for size? Ah, you bet. And as for get up and go, gang, have yourself a good, nourishing breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, and you'll be rated tops for get up and go. So, Space Patrollers, you take the Rice Chex, Wheat Chex taste test today. And I'm positive you'll agree, Chex rate tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. The cereals with the super swell free Space Patrol trading card inside the red and white checkerboard package. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy, exploring a wooded section of Mars, have just seen 2 men in strange, primitive masks holding a girl as captive. As the 2 Space Patrollers move to rescue her, Happy falls into a pit covered with branches and leaves.
Are you hurt, Happy?
No, sir.
Here, give me a hand. I'll pull you out.
Yes, sir. I can't quite reach it.
I'll lie down on the edge of the pit. There.
That's fine, sir. Now I can... Hey, Commander, look out.
What's the matter?
Look behind you. There's a man in a mask, and he's got a spear at your back.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Mystery of the Masked Martian. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Baylor Kovach. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday for exciting action on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you today by Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.